Now we're doing the show.
More metal.
Metallica at the Rose Bowl.
Black on
Sunday,
black.
Sunday.
Sunday.
The spirit of Metallica.
Kids tickets are only $5.
Get out and rock.
That's
Pedal to the metal.
That's a little creepy.
That was always the monster truck commercial.
So, Mr. Crowley.
Smoking Tire Podcast.
Yeah, smoking
Guten
tire.
Evening. What's evening in German?
Guten Abend.
Abend?
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend?
Sprechen Sie Porsche.
Magnus. Oh.
Hi, Sprechen Sie Porsche.
Magnus Walker in the house. And a new friend, Hannah Elliot
Hello.
from Bloomberg.
Hello.
Car writer that you guys rolled up in your press car
Of course.
like a fucking boss.
She's
which
bringing
is-
some class
it's
to the
not
west
just-
side.
Well, you can tell like how a journalist rolls by their press
Caliber
access.
press cars.
AMG GTC in a great color combination.
I'm happy.
Was that your Pebble ride?
Actually,
you drive
no,
that
I
up
had
and
something
back?
else for Pebble.
What
This
did
is
you have
my,
for Pebble?
F-Type SVR.
See,
Jag.
you are who your readers are,
That's
and
it.
Bloomberg
Of
readers
course.
need the big horsepower
Of
front
course.
engine penis mobiles.
For sure.
I put about 600 miles on that car, so it felt
How
good
was
to
it?
me.
Amazing.
Actually, I get
The coupe's far better than the convertible.
not surprising.
And I had both.
The coupe's prettier.
Yeah.
The convertible with the wing looks wonky as shit,
It's a
doesn't
little,
it?
wing looks a little aftermarket.
too much.
The wing looks a little weird.
Yeah.
And we did one for the NBC Sports Show. We had one in the UK. The wing looks really weird in the UK
Well,
because
covered
nothing has a wing.
Covered in a
the
Union
Yeah.
Jack flag.
Yeah, like it looks not. But on the coupe, it doesn't look so weird. Nice
No,
car though.
it's such a good car. Such a good value.
What color was it? So I know when I get the
slate gray,
get one in 2 weeks.
slate gray, gray interior, black interior.
Black
That's a
interior.
nice combo.
Like 132,000 starting.
That, that's a lot of horsepower for
That's a lot of
132
engine.
grand.
575.
So
yeah.
That's a lot. You're not even. You even breaking 400 in Porsche for 130?
No, probably not.
Oh, you can for a GTS. You can get into a GTS.
well, it
for
came in
less than that.
GT4, which is, like,
No, a
the greatest
911
car.
GTS, which is lovely.
well, that's nice too.
Have you had one of those yet?
I've driven that car. We actually have a
good.
great video passing a Cayman in Monterey. But to finish up with Jag, the coolest thing was actually meeting Ian Callum. On the
Oh, I
lawn at
love
Pebble
Ian.
Beach. Yeah, super
Everybody
down to
loves
earth.
Ian.
Everybody loves Ian.
Yeah.
Everybody
Nice guy.
loves that man.
He is I met him once. I don't know what he looks like, but I got introduced. And I was like, "Holy shit, you're
Yeah.
in!" And
Yeah.
lost my mind. Did you fanboy like that?
Well, it's funny. He came up to me, and then, it was fan love from there. It was Rule Britannia from there
You
on
look
out.
like you. It's easy to find you in
Yeah,
a crowd.
yeah,
and
looks like him. And then we had Mexican food with him at the infamous Baja Cantina.
Actually,
Sunday night.
did he
Yeah.
show you pictures of his Jaguar? Which
The Mark II Jag?
Yeah,
No, he
it's-
didn't, but I've seen that.
It's modified
Yeah.
in a way not
rodded.
entirely different from your newest, the dark gray car.
Yeah, the
new,
dark
your
gray
the
car,
68 or something.
964. They all
Is
look
it a-
the same, them Porsches.
Look the same.
They all
I
look
can't
the
tell the
same.
difference.
I mean,
But Ian Callum's a great guy.
nice guy.
He said he's never owned a car that he designed. You believe that? And I asked him why, because it's like, he's a man of some means. He could probably afford any
Right.
number of the cars that he's designed. He said because the final designs were always compromised. It was always like
Oh.
there was some regulations or
course.
some accounting
I'm
involved.
going to have to pull the photo
and
out
he could
here.
never
Makes
have
sense.
the pure vision design.
Well, think about
so
the
he couldn't.
concept cars when they do those, and then how far it gets from that, and if that's what he would really want.
Right.
You have to go to Pininfarina or something.
Yeah, and your editor, you don't want the version of the story the editor prints in the magazine. You want the fucking version you sent him.
Well, he also
You know?
he also told me he's never owned an E-Type, never even driven an E-Type.
He's never driven an E-Type.
That's what he
That
said
would-
because
that's shocking.
he doesn't want to meet his heroes, quote unquote.
Here it is,
Little
your
bit-
old
little
For a
bit
man
worried.
with that kind of access,
Living
I think
proof.
that's lazy. He should he should drive a fucking
Get an
E-Type.
E-Type.
Ian, if you're out there, sir, that's a great picture
That's
with a
pretty good, with
Union
the flag.
Jack in the background.
Hashtag Rule
That's a
Britannia.
beautiful picture.
Right
Photo
there.
credit. I get photo credit on
That's
that.
a
took
good
the
one.
photo.
Really nice.
On the lawn. You notice I dressed up to be part of the festivities up there.
The festivities can adjust their attire for you.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
I would
There you go.
have disagreed, and then I saw you in Miami at your book signing. Holy shit!
Oh, the 305.
This motherfucker can fill a room.
Mm-hmm.
We went to this park house.
small room. It's a very, very small, intimate room.
Small room, huge line. The line of people. That's crazy.
Oh, Miami's a strange
I walked.
place.
I said hi for 30 seconds and felt guilty because all these people that were standing in line who,
Mira.
I didn't even say hi until like I walked in and I didn't even say hi to you. I'd been there for like 3 hours. You were so mobbed, and then finally I was like, I have to go say hi to fucking Magnus, and I didn't stand in the line. I just walked
right
out and
up.
said hi.
Of course,
but the people
Hollywood.
who were in the front of the line who had been standing in that line for 3 hours were furioso.
That's a fun city, Miami,
But
right?
Jesus, can you fill a room?
Well, you know, there's a
Dirt don't slow you down.
There's a beard convention in most cities.
It was crazy. I mean, that seemed like a very legit shop. Park House.
Yeah, Park House One.
in
Those
Miami.
guys are like the sort of the greatest thing in Miami when it comes to Porsches. Everything. From
They had
vintage.
everything.
Yeah,
They had,
RWBs, 911Rs.
They had their track stuff, and
Right.
and I think there was one on airbags.
Oh yeah,
So
at
there
least
was
one on
someone-
airbags. Yeah.
Somebody had slammed
So
one
you
on
got to park
bags.
hard, right?
Pretty. Miami's fun.
I think Miami to me is the car. I'd sort of forgot about Miami. I'd gone there 25 years ago and never really thought much about it. But went there 2 years ago with Park House One. They did this great event called Das Renntraf in DRT. Sort of like the East Coast version of Rennsport, like a Porsche Fest, but non-official. But sort of the passion of people down there. They're all South American, tons of Colombians and Cubans. There's a lot of money, and I guess it's all been there since the 80s. And the interesting
Wonder
thing
where
is
it came from in the
exactly
80s.
cocaine cowboys, right? You know, you think
Yeah.
Miami Vice and
So it's
all
all
that stuff
Sega.
is
It's
still
all
there.
Sega game money then.
It's all Sega game money,
Yeah.
Venezuelan agricultural distribution money, Colombian, you know, horse raiding money. But now there's just so many cool cars down there, and you know,
That event was slammed with them.
a lot of people there, yeah.
Yeah, that,
You know,
the cars and the variety and stuff was awesome.
well, from a Porsche point of view, the two tops, 1 and 2 dealerships in the whole country are down in Miami. Champion Porsche and the Collection are there.
Yeah.
But there's been, you know, to me, it's the turbo capital, everything from slant noses to new stuff.
Oh,
down there.
well, fender flares.
Yeah.
And from the '80s, it's the gills, right?
Everything's-
It's all them Gimbala kits
Yeah.
and the
Stose kicks, everything's pretty flash down
white
there.
interiors.
Was big power a thing down there back in the 80s too? Because you know nowadays in Florida everyone's got like a single turbo Supra, like because the roads
we
are
don't
so
need a
straight.
racetrack. We have I-95.
No, exactly. It's so
It's all
straight, so,
pretty
like, what are they
flat
gonna
down
do?
there.
And they had offshore racing and crazy power
power
boats.
boat
so
stuff,
I wonder
yeah.
if it's the same thing with the old cars.
You know, racing to Havana, what is it, like 107 miles from Key West or
Yeah,
something like that?
there's a mini 30 for 30. You know those ESPN docs, the 30 for 30 about Don Aronow, the
Okay.
Donzi cigarette boat, like the builder of the fastest
Right,
boats.
right.
Crazy story. The guy, you know, obviously his clientele consisted of drug runners, who in the 80s, like every quote professional offshore power boat racer was a drug runner.
Right.
And they were professional, you know, whatever. And so then the cops caught onto this. The cops decide, well, shit, we need some Donzi boats. Everyone's got these Donzis. We can't catch them. We need some Donzis too. Well, between the cops and the drug dealers, who do you think got the better hulls? You know, obviously the drug dealers get all the better hulls. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. The cops can't catch them.
Is that your dealer?
Eventually, yep, there he is. They know here as I'm talking about
Right
him. We're
on
live.
cue.
Exactly.
And the guy eventually, Don Aronow, ends up getting like murdered, like mob hit style murder. It was brutal, but the boats were awesome.
That sounds like a Scarface story right there.
Yeah, and now they all drive Porsches.
It's like the Whittington brothers were the same thing, you know, racing Porsches,
who?
Escobars, racing Porsches. The Whittington brothers.
Who are
they
the
were racing-
Whittington brothers?
Google those guys. They were racing Daytona, and it was sort of fueled by that type
Timmy,
of
get us the Whittington
background.
brothers.
Yeah, see if you can bring those guys up, because they're pretty famous.
Was this a drug money fueled racing team?
Something like that, yeah. As the
Illicit
rumor goes.
funds?
Yeah, illicit go faster funds.
We
Seemed
were
to be
just
how it
talking
was.
about Pablo Escobar's like little rallycross track he had at his crib with like, you know, his Peugeots or
Yeah, there's cool images of him in slant nose Porsches, Escobar on the side going racing.
Yeah.
So I find Miami a real intoxicating city. Tons of like car culture people, super friendly. Not great driving roads because everything's flat.
No.
It's like on and off ramps, but super picturesque at nighttime. The water, the buildings, the
good
neon.
for filming.
Great for filming.
Yeah.
Real cinematic.
And very few laws. Which
Oh.
I mean,
Kind of like a free for all.
when you're just visiting, it's a nice to be able to take advantage of.
That makes me think of a recent trip I took down to the Dominican Republic.
Is that those guys?
That
Tim?
looks like those guys, yeah.
Pull that up.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah, and I think Bruce
Yeah.
Meyer owns their slant nose 935 race car. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time confiscated because the FBI were basically, you know, seizing funds.
What was their livery? Was it a famous livery?
Black and white.
Well, pull it up.
Bruce Meyer's
Black
cars.
and white one.
It's not that one. Bruce Meyer owns the car now. Bruce Meyer
Bruce Meyer
935 race car.
935.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce, if you're listening out there, we're talking about your Porsche, not drug dealing.
Bruce Meyer's
I'm sure he's
got
listening.
he's got some collection. That
Oh,
gentleman.
nice,
He's
super nice guy.
white with black.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
that was a
That's it.
Rennsport
Yeah,
last year. I
super
think.
famous car.
Ooh, very good looking.
So that's kind of a Miami story right there.
I like that.
But I have to talk about recently I went down to the Dominican Republic from
Well, yeah,
Miami.
you were on your world book tour.
Yeah, the world tour. The Dominican
Hello.
Republic was kind of a slightly separate thing. but it's some of the craziest driving I've ever done in my life. And I'm kind of maybe a little known as being a crazy driver. But in
You
the
are a little
Dominican-
crazy. I saw you do a double yellow pass on video on Instagram like 2 days ago, homie.
You got to use.
I saw that video.
You got to use all
Credit.
the road, right?
You got to smack him when he's doing double. You can't do
I'm
double yellow
encouraging
pass.
it.
Come on, you got to use
That's
all the
oh,
road.
come
when
on,
the road's
Magnus.
straight, so
If
you
you
know
want to
what
drive
comes-
in the DR and do double yellow passes in the DR, you do just that. In
I don't know.
America.
You know, if you can see down the road and no one's coming to me,
I don't want you to die,
doesn't
Magnus.
matter.
You
I
got
don't
millions of dollars to make
I
out
don't
there.
know about that.
The dirt can't slow you down.
I like-
but a
it's
fucking
not-
semi-truck oncoming
Well,
certainly can.
You know, you only get so close. But back
So
to
Dominican
the
Republic,
Dominican
okay.
Republic. Some of the craziest driving I've ever done. I was trying to get to 300 kilometers an hour on a 2-lane road, and I
In
got
what?
to GT3. I got to 277, which was kind of where I tapped out and almost ran into the back of someone. But the crazy thing there is you see like 5 people on a moped going across the street.
Yeah.
Taxi cab sort of stopped blocking half the line with 8 people getting in it, and it's all dinged up.
Have you done much driving in the Far East? It's kind of like that.
No,
in
not really.
Thailand and stuff. It's like it's real crazy like that. Just
Dominican
some
was
sort of
like being in
semi-lawlessness.
Mad Max zone. Crazy thing down there is so much poverty, but the 0.5% that have the wealth, they're super wealthy, and they're not driving around in base model boxes. They're all in Turbo S's and GT3s and just free for all down there. Kind of exciting and crazy at the same time.
There's a lot of places where the haves really run the show,
Right.
and are above the law. The Middle East, there's a lot of
Dubai.
that going
Yeah,
on.
I've never
Dubai-
gone there. You've
you
gone
know,
there, right?
I've been to Dubai. Yeah.
What does that seem like?
It's really weird. Very nice people. Everyone we met in Dubai was great.
It's very diplomatic there.
Very diplomatic. It's really a culture shock to see, an Arab guy like in a full dish dash roll up in like a Shelby GT 500, 68 KR, and then he
King
pops
of
the hood
the
and goes out, and he pops the hood and he had LS swapped it, which
Oh,
was
wow.
like it was just the most like who are you? Where did you come
That's
from?
kind of amazing.
It was going to a car show is kind of like going to a car show in America until you see the gold stuff,
Yeah.
which is real. It's a weird place though. It's very like visual, but then there's not a lot of depth.
Right, and-
Skyscrapers catch on fire a lot.
Any cool roads there, though? Roads to
There's a
nowhere?
road called the Road to Nowhere.
Right, right.
If you know about the Road to Nowhere,
you
that's
guys drove
pretty
that,
much.
right?
Yeah. So the Road to Nowhere is called Pebble Beach, and it's 13 kilometers long or 14 kilometers long.
So
something
is
like
it
that.
4 lanes the whole way too?
And it's 2 lanes each way, and it
Perfect
just
tarmac.
goes up a mountain. It's perfect tarmac, and it was supposed to go to this hotel
That never-
that doesn't exist. So, Tim, just pull up the Road to Nowhere.
Road to
You don't
Nowhere.
have to know it. Pebble Beach is, I couldn't even spell it if I wanted to. Oh, well,
I do have
Road
to say,
Nowhere,
this is
Dubai.
great, being able to pull stuff up on your screen here. You
Yeah,
guys
we're
come a
trying to
long
we're
way.
trying to get like actual
Yeah, like
some
a real-
actual
like a real
production
show.
happening.
So it's more than just smoking tire coasters.
That one, that's it. Yeah, that's the Road
Oh,
to
yeah,
Nowhere.
yeah.
Sick.
So it's really
That's
wide.
super cool.
There is, Dubai is enforced entirely
That's a
by
great, big,
cameras,
full
and there
screen
are
image
no.
there.
Yeah, Tim, I forgot to mention you can on that browser. Sorry to go all logistical during the middle of the show, but
Technical
you
time.
can use Command Plus and Command Minus to
Is that how
zoom
that
in and
works?
out when you pull a picture.
Okay.
So I think you can. So we can full screen it.
You know,
Anyway,
for the visually impaired
that is
over
where
here.
that is where you drive fast in Dubai or track. According to Thaddeus, track days are pretty cheap and plentiful.
yeah, there's
know.
plenty available.
There
There's a
we
lot
go.
of track.
Now, what
time.
did you drive out there?
Look at that.
I drove an Aston V12
Okay.
Vantage, and then Chris Harris drove a Porsche 918.
Okay.
And Spinelli got the Ferrari Speciale.
Was that one
I
of those?
got,
Oh,
I got
wow.
the shaft a little bit, if I'm
Really?
honest. in
You
that
guys didn't
film.
swap cars?
I got the shaft just a bit.
They owe you next time.
Well,
I
you're
had
an
to go
Aston
in the
guy, right?
918 on that road. Then it was very Starship Enterprise.
Okay. Now, talking of
Oh.
Aston, though, how's the manual transformation on your Aston?
It works good.
It works good.
Completely transforms the car.
Really?
So another manual I just drove yesterday. Someone had manual swapped one of those Mercedes CLK 430s with the round lights. You know, the kind of good-looking one from like 04.
Kinda
Someone
good.
put a 6-speed in one and completely transformed that car. Had some slush box in it originally.
Back to Ian Callum, I was talking to him about that Jag. I said, this would be great with a manual. You guys should make one. He said, we do. Nobody orders it.
The V6S, they come with a manual. It's actually a BMW M3 gearbox.
So that's
It
probably pretty nice.
if anyone's wondering how a manual F-Type feels, just like an M3.
Just like an M3.
Get one as the press car. I'm sure they've got one.
I've had that car.
The manual
Yeah.
F-Type, it's
Yes.
badass.
It's amazing.
It's very nice.
Yes.
Press cars seem to be fun. OPC is what I'm
Fun.
calling them.
They're
Other
very
people's
fun.
cars.
Yeah, they've been tough to schedule this summer.
Really?
I don't know what's going on with the press car game, but they've been tough to schedule.
Influencers.
Influencers.
Influencers get cars now.
They
Yeah.
have them.
Are they not press? They're not official press?
That's a different argument.
What else has been
That's a
on
different
your,
conversation.
What
Yeah.
else have you driven that's good?
You know what I really liked? The E400 Mercedes.
The
Coupe.
twin turbo 6?
Yeah.
E400 coupe?
I just had, yeah.
Okay.
It's good. I know it's unexpected. It's really surprising.
Good
It's
LA car. Good city.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
had it in New York. It was
Good
fun.
New York car too. You work in Manhattan?
Mm-hmm.
You go in and out of Manhattan? You live in
Every
Manhattan
day.
too?
I live in Manhattan. I live in the East Village.
What do you do with press cars in the East
I
Village?
park them around the corner.
Really?
Drive to work every day.
You street park them?
No, in a garage.
You drive from one part of Manhattan to other parts
Every
of Manhattan
day.
in a press
I
car?
have a different car every week. Every day I drive.
Do you have a fleet? You do? Is there a fleet manager at Bloomberg? That must be awesome.
No, I'm the fleet manager.
Hustler.
Hustler.
Yeah.
On the hustle.
No.
Street parking
Yeah.
press cars in New York in the East
No, I mean
Village too.
it's a thrill.
East Village is upscale now, though. It's not like East Village of 20 years ago where it was,
No,
super
it's not
cracked
theft,
out.
but I lived at 16th and 1st for 2 years, and
Yeah.
it's fucking impossible to
To
park
find
It's
anywhere.
very
anymore.
challenging.
The only garage is at like 10th between 2nd and 3rd.
There are a
It's
couple hidden ones, but you
far.
kind of got to pay off the guys.
That's the
That's
one up the road
the
from
main
10th
thing is
Street
you,
Path.
you got to slip them an extra little something to take care of your expensive cars because
Well,
they
that's
don't
standard
they don't
anyway.
want to.
That's standard.
Yeah, you got to work it a little bit more.
That's pretty standard. I once had a Aventador for a week in Las Vegas, and I recall specifically spending $375 tipping valets
of
to
course.
not do their jobs and let
Yeah.
me park it myself.
Money well
Yeah,
spent.
I'll
I
tell
agree.
you what.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And,
You gotta-
and stimulating the local economy.
Yeah, you
I'll
gotta-
tell you
gotta
what was
pay to
really
play.
good, and you're gonna want to talk about this too. Is the McLarens.
Oh, the McLarens are
570S.
the best.
Oh,
How
yeah.
good are
I just
they?
had the 570S Spider. He had the 720.
You got to go in the 720.
Hold on.
I want to hear
Honestly,
this. The 570
amazing.
is lovely.
That's gonna be their best seller next year,
Of
for
course.
sure.
Look
The
at
sports
that. Oh,
series.
Look at that. It's a great color
The
to
sports
me.
series has totally changed
Well-
their sales.
Oh, look at that blue.
Doubled.
It's like a Miami blue.
Can you go to my Instagram
That
there?
is called
That's like Miami blue, the Porsche
Yeah.
color.
That color is called I paid $12,000
Paint
for
to
this.
sample.
Right.
Some people-
No, it's Curacao blue.
Curacao
it's
blue.
Curacao blue. It's a new color this year. They introduced 3 new colors for the
Someone went to
570
the fucking
S
press
Spider.
briefing.
Curacao blue. There you go. One of the
memory.
3 new
I'm
ones.
sorry.
That's
Please,
I
pretty
drank
funny.
all the
Memory.
Kool-Aid.
please introduce us. You can drink the Kool-Aid.
570S Spider in Curacao blue, one of 3 new colors,
Whoa.
will be their best-selling car next year.
Of course it will.
This last of the sports series introduced, and that series has doubled their sales.
How
and totally
was the torsional rigidity without the roof, though?
There's no roll.
Look,
Someone always
the
asks that at
body,
the Spider
the
briefing.
body of the Spider versus the Coupe is the same exact body. The
Why
same,
is that?
Because of the underpinning. It's the same.
She paid attention.
She knows.
Look, I know.
Proper
it's
automotive
the
journalist.
same exact car.
I would like to voir dire this witness. I just watched my cousin Vinny on the elliptical today.
My cousin Vinny. On the
We
elliptical.
would like to voir dire the witness.
No, honestly, it's such a
Probably
beautiful
fire.
car.
Probably
It's
fire.
really, really beautiful.
Is there
It's
a
amazing.
GT and an
Good-looking
S
car.
Spider? Can you get either as Spider? Or is
Eventually.
There-
Spider just
I
its own
believe
thing?
there's a GT coming.
Of course.
I don't know that for sure.
That's
You should not-
570S
If,
Spider.
if they don't roll out a
570S.
new model every 6 months,
Yeah.
they get bored.
So they're
Yeah, right.
that would be their general progression.
They are committed to
I am not with
devaluing their
McLaren.
used cars every.
I cannot
That's
speak
a great
officially,
picture.
but that's their general
Of course.
progression. I would imagine.
the
that's case.
570 GT was awesome.
Sure.
It was so nice
Maybe
inside.
even an
good looking
LT.
Inside out.
We got to
Maybe.
drive a
That would be-
570
Honestly,
GT across
Of
Iceland.
course.
Oh, that's-
Someone will
oh.
buy
That
it.
would be
That
the
sounds pretty
natural
nice.
progression.
If you go to my Instagram, I'll show you some video
Yeah.
of me driving
The
both those
570s
cars.
are fucking lovely, and thank you for that press briefing.
You're
That
welcome.
was pretty
The
good.
720 though.
720.
There we
Please,
go.
Magnus,
Well-
educate us on the 720.
For
Unless
some
you
re-
went to that press briefing.
No,
As well, Hannah.
I've gone to no press briefings, but somehow I got loaned the 570 for a week, and I ended up giving it back after 3 days. He said, "How come you gave it back so quick?" I go, "Well, I've sort of driven all I need to do. Drove my favorite road, Angeles Crest Highway. I had the guy come along with me. We shot a little video, and he goes, "Oh, you need to drive the 720." And then I was lucky enough to drive the 720 a couple of days ago in Monterey during one of their test drives, and ended up going over Laurel Grandes 3 times.
Like
Because just
Laurel-
chasing down Lambos and
Grandes? It's
yeah,
grade. Laurel's
grade,
grade.
Laurel, what is it?
Laurel's grade.
Laurel's grade. Yeah, that road. That's a great road right there.
It is a good road.
Even
I
if
like-
there's traffic, because you can chase them down and you can
very
do some
true.
bonsai passes.
So
So
it was a little
Italian
bumpy.
front.
if you
a couple
pull up on that
years- Do you
Instagram,
have to sign into my Instagram to do that?
oh,
That's gonna be
technology.
embarrassing.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
see
Hold
anything.
on, we can do it on the iPhone. I'll show you the
No,
little
we
video.
can't, because then we can't pull it up. Well, you tell us how the 720 was while I sign into my fucking
720 is just a better version of the 570. Let's leave it at that till the video comes up.
Oh, please.
I don't know nothing
very
about
short.
torsional rigidity, but I do know that on that road I hit the rev limiter in second gear, and there's no straight line on that road, and then almost hit it in third as well because the guy said to me, just rev it all the way out. I go,
How's it feel in the hands compared to the
Oh,
570?
it's super tight. I mean, there's no roll in that. Goes around corners real well. I don't know how it does it. I just kind of go like that, and
The
it
ride
doesn't
is
move around.
usually what does it with the McLarens. They
Yeah,
usually just
super
ride so
nimble.
nice.
Because after
Everyone's
that,
saying it's like it's underrated by like 150 horsepower, and it's actually making like 700 at the wheel.
well,
I don't
after
know why they would do that though.
Why they would underrate it?
Yeah.
Because then they can sell one that has more power later
Next
without
time around.
actually doing anything.
The S version. And then
They
the
underrate the
Dominican.
570s as well. There's no fucking way that car's making less than 600 horsepower. There's no way. I had a 570S at Monticello, which I'm sure you've been
Yeah,
to,
of
being
course.
from New York. It's a
Of
beautiful
course.
place. You know that the main back straight?
Yes.
I spun the tires in third at 110 miles an hour. in
Wow.
that car.
That's pretty
Interesting.
good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't you
There's
do
no
that?
way
Asking.
unless- I
Have you
looked it
have
down.
you asked McLaren? Have you asked them directly about
if it's underrated?
Yeah.
Because they will always be totally upfront.
They'll be totally
No, I
upfront
just
about
but
it.
it would be interesting to have it on the record as a journalist to have them on the
Oh, I don't
record
take
answering
myself
that.
No,
seriously.
Jonah.
I do.
Not
I
really.
want to hear them say it because then you could show them later on and be like, "What's up?"
I got to stop right there, though. Spinning the tires in third gear at what speed?
It was like 110, maybe.
On
it
a
was-
racetrack. That just
yeah.
makes me think about you and I driving the Shortworks GT2. And
Oh,
we were doing that
wow.
at like, what was it?
I think we saw
150?
147.
147.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Where
And we
was
were-
this?
On the
Like
freeway.
fucking
Oh,
five.
perfect. Of
Not on
course.
the
On a
racetrack.
closed
Of course.
freeway.
Yeah,
Sure.
allegedly.
Yeah,
Police
closed
escort.
freeway.
They tried to like blur out my mouth in the video when I said what the speed
Subtitle.
was. Yeah, it didn't really work.
Because
You
I
could
said to
tell.
him, what was that, about $1.50? And he turns and goes, no,
really-
147.
It was
It's
really quick. That car was very fast.
That still is a very, very fast
Have you
car.
gotten seat time in the GT2 RS? Is it
The new
GT2?
one,
The
no.
new one?
No, we'll-
that looks very fast too.
We'll get to that in a minute. But if you scroll here, there's a video.
Can we feed
there.
video? Ooh, we haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, play that. This is only a short clip.
Wait, let's see if you
So,
can.
so here's this is actually the Ferrari because I'm going to get onto the bit where I
We
then
haven't actually tried to play video live yet. Let's see if it works.
here we go.
Oh, it does. I think it does.
That's
Should.
Yeah, there's a double yellow
There you
pass.
go. Yeah.
that is not in the McLaren though. This is
No.
not a McLaren video.
No, that's a
So
488.
yeah, so
Yes.
after the McLaren thing happened, I got the opportunity to drive this, the 488.
That color is magnificent.
You love that, right?
I
no,
love it.
no, you got it. No,
You can be
no,
honest.
Khaki?
Matt.
Read all the comments. You got a lot of
There
comments
was
going
one
there.
comment
What,
that I loved.
159 comments I got to go through.
No, you go through a couple of them. Everyone's going to tell you how much they love the color, like you, right? Because everyone's got great taste out there.
What,
So
is
no, to
khaki
finish
colored?
up on
Like,
the
from that angle, it looked white.
Be honest, I don't care what all these people think, Magnus.
There you go. It's
Sorry.
only a
I
matter of
tried.
what you think.
No, it's not. It's a matter of what you think and you think. You went to the press briefing. These assholes didn't go to the press briefing.
Here's what
Right.
I think.
Is that a
having-
press car, that beautiful color?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a presser?
Yes.
So having driven both of those back to back on the same road, I would say the McLaren 720 is a better car. But if you scroll down, the other cool thing I did in Monterey was you see that bus play that
You
video?
actually got to... Oh, the electric Volkswagen thing.
Yeah.
Wait, we got to actually...
Go further.
There is a video.
Go
Sam, we
There
got
is
to
a
send
video.
that over to the live feed,
No,
bro.
other way, going the wrong way.
The 488 looks like the
Alright,
color
see that
Tim
one?
was showing us for his
play
truck
that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like the Tacoma sand
Check this
thing.
out.
like
I'm
Or
the-
the
not into
color
it.
of a hearing aid.
Or that. All good,
that
exciting
was one
things.
of the comments. Hearing
You
aid
can't
color.
That's
unsee
great.
that.
So this
That
was
looks,
pretty cool.
I mean, honestly, that looks like you're on a Disneyland ride.
It was pretty cool. It was one of the most fun things I drove up there, and I drove a lot of things. That what is it? The VW ID Buzz bus
Concept.
That's cool.
concept.
Fully electric.
They will definitely build that.
Yeah.
I mean that genuinely.
It's pretty
sure.
cool. Everyone seems to want them to build that car or that bus, and they've been waiting for it to.
I
be-
mean, everyone
What are the odds
wants
that
more
looks-
space and it's electric. Like it puts the
everything
two things
moves around
together.
inside it
looks
on a
stupid.
rail. Like the driver's seat literally goes backwards, turns around.
That one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
down, and then the center console moves on a rail. So when you're driving, all the stuff is there, and when you're sort of relaxing on the bed,
Oh, that's
TV
neat.
crops up and all that stuff. It's like being in IKEA. It just all moves around.
Remember Mini Countryman had that rail system in the middle of it? It's a stupid car, but it had that
Yeah.
one. It had this rail system. It was like a four-seater, and this railing thing went
Everything
right down
moved
the
around.
middle. And like the cup holders went on the rail. And
Right,
like, you
I
could
forgot about
slide
that.
them back and
That's
forth.
kind of
and
how
shit.
that is.
It was
There's,
pretty
there's
cool.
a center one and then a perimeter one where the seats rotate around, like musical
That
chairs.
sounds awesome, actually.
It's kind of wacky.
Is that? Will they make that? That's not.
They claim they're
gonna look
making
like
that by 2022. what
They won't make it with
22.
those seats, but I bet they'll totally make the nostalgic looking VW bus that's electric.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
demand. There's
Of
crazy
course,
demand
of
for
course.
it. Crazy. Our coverage of that
They better
van
make it quick
beat
before those
our
people die.
coverage of the Maybach, the new Maybach debut. That Mercedes did by far.
That Maybach.
You like
is
that?
Sick.
20 feet long.
Literally
Fire,
20
that
feet
car.
long.
That car
There's a
is
photo of
so
it there. If you
hot.
scroll down, you'll
And
see a
it
photo
drives.
of it.
It actually does drive.
Keep going.
We went to
That car
yeah,
is
the
Oh,
premiere.
I think you've passed it.
Oh
He's
boy,
speeding on
Timmy.
that. Timmy's.
You're fucking.
Right
There it is.
there.
It's vertical, right? Isn't that vertical?
Because you can't
Yeah,
fit
yeah,
it in
yeah.
the frame.
Center,
Yeah.
center
You cannot-
stack, vertical.
Underneath
the McLaren.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't fit
Next
it.
to the
It almost
GT2.
doesn't
Yeah.
even look like a car.
Yeah.
It's more
Couldn't
of a
get it in
yacht,
the shot.
really.
Look at the
It's
size
more
of
of a
that
yacht.
Oh my God! All the audience is gonna hate this picture. Jesus.
And
it's not, it's not
The
really
hood opens
exemplary.
up like you scrunch it together. It opens up in the middle.
Like cars
a
from the
seat.
30s.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
Like old
Yeah.
school
Exactly.
Duesenbergs and stuff.
But
That's
that
rad.
looks ridiculously hot. Someone's gonna spend $20 million for that.
They're making only one.
Yeah, Birdman. Remember he got that
Sure.
Accelero thing?
Sure.
The Batmobile one?
Yeah, of course.
That's way better than the Rolls Royce that smiled in the back.
Oh, that Rolls Royce stinks.
I never
that guy's,
saw that.
Very
you see this
bad.
guy's coach built Rolls Royce?
No.
Oh, what is the name?
Pull that photo up. Stinky coach.
This
built
was in
Rolls Royce.
Carmel, or this
It's
is somewhere
rough.
else?
Yeah, it's him. Just look at like one of one Rolls Royce Phantom coupe or some shit.
I do like the new Phantom, the Phantom 8.
The new Phantom looks good.
I think it's
You're
gonna
probably
be
on the list for that
amazing.
with your readership.
Of course.
Fucking
of
pimps.
course.
That's pretty
You
funny.
and like Dan Neal. Dan Neal is like
Sure.
his press car game is so tight because who doesn't want to be in the Wall Street Journal? Like, everybody
Right.
wants to be in the Wall Street Journal.
They've got a beard section,
Nobody
right?
wants
Like
to be
a
on the
beard
smoking
grooming
tire.
section. No, everybody wants to be on the
where
smoking tire. Is that what we're on?
No,
I thought we were doing
yes.
Joe Rogan.
You want to talk about UFC? We can be on Joe
Can we
Rogan.
talk about Mayweather?
The big McGregor fight, right?
McGregor?
Zach, will you help Tim find the correct one? Oh, you want to talk about
Very good.
McGregor and
Just tell me
Mayweather?
who you're betting on.
Fucking Mayweather. I hate Floyd Mayweather. You ever seen The Great White Hype? Of course you have, because you never seen The Great White Hype?
I've never heard those words
Oh,
together.
The Great White
Great White
Hype
Hype?
is a
No.
fantastic movie from the 1990s with Samuel L. Jackson, John Lovitz, Jeff Goldblum. That's the ugly Rolls Royce.
Oh, no.
Ugly.
Can we see a big picture of that?
Maybach wins the concept contest with. That's a guy's personal commission.
Wow.
The Great White Hype is about a hyped up fight between an aging, lazy, rich, entitled black champion played by Damon Wayans and a white guy that they find who was like the only guy to ever beat the champion as an amateur. And he's like, they hype it up like the white guy's got a shot. Peter Berg plays the white guy. Damon Wayans is the boxer. It's an all-star fucking cast. Jamie Foxx is in this movie. This movie has one of the greatest casts of any fucking movie.
But the two leads just went on to become directors, not
right,
actors.
exactly.
Oh, wow.
It's a great
Valid
Yeah.
point.
Telling.
But this is the story of this fight. Floyd Mayweather will beat the shit out of Conor McGregor because it's Floyd's rules. He knows how to box.
But they cut down to 8-ounce gloves from 12, I think.
Ooh.
Right? It's different. It's
Getting
different.
hit by Floyd Mayweather. I don't know.
I have
How
no
much
idea.
older is he than Connor? 10 years?
More.
12 years?
He's like 40 something.
He's never been
59.
defeated though, Mayweather, right? Never.
Thanks, not as a professional, no.
50 fights.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah,
it
but
is,
he
50?
can't get hit.
But
There's
he
so many
he knows how to not
Yeah.
get hit. He knows he's
So you're
good
saying-
at not getting hit. He's really good. That's why his
Yeah.
fights are boring as shit.
He's
'cause
really good at
really
blocking the
not getting
pass.
hit.
You
Yeah.
know? Might not be the fastest,
I'm
but
not
no
an
one gets
expert at
past
this,
it.
but it really seems like they're hyping it up.
Are you going to the fight or are you going to watch it or?
Go- I'd love to watch. Are you going to watch it?
No, I don't think so.
Did someone
It's
offer
this
to take
weekend.
you?
No.
Saturday,
Yeah,
right?
it's this
No.
Some
weekend.
Porsche
Yeah.
guy who
Some Porsche guy in
tribute
Vegas.
liveried his 911, his Cayenne.
Come
for
out
you.
to Vegas. Yeah,
Break
yeah.
out your fur.
Yeah. The tractor. Get out and plow.
I'd love to watch it. It's this weekend. We're going to be at Gridlife.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Grid
Grid
Life
Life.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Gridlife. You said that's like Got the Bill.
Kind of. It's like time attack and drifting and
Mad Max on
HPDE and crazy builds and street cars and at
Car
night it's a
show.
music festival.
Got it. So that is Gat Bill, which I describe as Mad Max meets Burning Man on
I think the
steroids.
cars are crazier at Gatville.
They are.
1,000
builds
horsepower
are
station
crazier in
wagons
general.
held together with duct tape and zip ties.
We have the duct tape and the zip ties.
Got it,
for
so you
sure.
got that.
I drove in the other one. I drove a Volvo Amazon.
Are you driving
60.
in it?
Yeah, I test a bunch of people's cars
Okay,
for
okay.
tracks. I'm driving like
You do the one take. thing
yeah,
down
so
there?
I'm driving like a Silvia and a crazy Honda
Okay.
and a Saturn Sky with a 2JZ engine in it, which should be
No, what's this
interesting.
race you just did? 24-hour race down in Road Atlanta?
A
something,
VIR,
Lee
VIR
Oh,
with
that's
Lee.
a great track, right?
You ever driving at fucking night, dude?
No, not at VIR.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I was so shamelessly scared to race at VIR at night. It's so dark.
It's a fun track in the daytime.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the best.
The
I had a
climbing S's.
great 2-hour stint in the day,
What
and then
car
it
were you
got
driving?
dark. An E30.
Okay.
It got dark. It was the scariest
There's
2 hours of my
no
fucking
lights on the
life,
track.
dude.
No lights on the track?
No lights, and all these terrible cars. This chump car. They
So it
all
was a
use-
chump 20. It was a chump.
Yeah,
Okay.
full 24
Okay.
though, and all these chump cars use these.
So it's like the 25-hour Le Mans Lemons minus 1 hour.
Basically.
Basically.
And the cars
Cars
are
are a
faster
little
than
better
that. A
than
little
lemons.
better, yeah. But they all use these cheap, like, Chinese LEDs that are super, super bright in a rearview mirror, but they've got no, like, throw.
Okay.
So they're
You see 10
worthless
feet
as
in front of you.
headlights, but they're just so distracting when they're all around you. It's gnarly. Very scary.
Well, later at night, when you guys were asleep, it started to rain, and then Lee's on the radio, and he's like, "It's getting foggy in the back."
Yeah.
And it was getting real sketchy.
There was a crazy storm in the middle of the night while Lee Keen, who
He's a cool guy.
cool guy,
Super chill.
incredible driver,
Yeah.
just one of those
Tall guy as
robots.
well.
Yeah, great for sharing a race seat
Yeah,
with because we don't
exactly.
have to adjust it much.
Yeah.
And he said that they're the worst conditions he's ever seen.
And
in
he's
a
raced
race car,
Nürburgring and Le Mans.
ever.
Right.
In the middle,
Wow.
it was like 4 a.m, and there was inches of standing water over the track. It was craziness.
How'd you guys do?
Finished.
Well, there you go. Everyone's a winner then. If you finished,
We
everyone's a winner.
finished it, and I don't think it gives away the story because a lot of people were there to see this. We literally, Lee got a flat tire on the very last lap of the race.
So he kept going.
And so he finished the race with like a
Oh, man.
and you couldn't write that shit. It was
Yeah,
just,
couldn't
it was a
script it.
brilliant ending.
That's the way to win.
But it was fun.
Well,
It's
congratulations.
really, you should. Do you? I know you do like track days and stuff.
I used to
You've
do a
done
lot of
some.
them. I've raced. Well, I haven't raced. I've done track days at VIR because my buddies down there, the Ingrams, they do track days. down there.
I met them.
Yeah,
They're
Cam-
great.
Yeah, super cool.
Road scholars.
Road scholars, yeah.
Have you driven? You've seen their Cayman?
Oh,
I drove
yeah,
it.
I've driven the Cayman
The
in
red
Miami.
one?
I drove it in Miami when
What
they
a
first built
nasty
it.
bitch
Yeah, you
that
drove it
car
too,
is.
right?
Oh, so
Yeah, that car's pretty awesome.
lovely.
That thing screamed because I
Yeah.
edited the video and it was like, we got to turn
Yeah.
all this audio down.
Yeah,
It was
Hannah, this is
very
a
nice.
wide-body Porsche Cayman that has a
Amazing.
4.2
I'll show you
liter.
photos
There
of
it
it.
is. I
There
took
it is.
that picture.
Oh, beautiful.
That's at Road
With
Scholars.
I love Cayman.
It's got a 4.2 in it.
Yeah.
It's making like I think about 425 at the wheels. Like it's detuned. It's got a full GT3 front end.
Yeah, it's a great build.
All metal wide body.
That was Danny
Beautiful
100
car.
right there.
Beautiful car.
Danny 100 put that
Well, you know
together.
their car was the lone Porsche on the Concours lawn
And
on
it won.
Sunday and won its class.
Whoa.
Oh, the bent
Yeah.
window thing.
Yeah,
Was that
the
what it was?
52 Roadster.
The only Porsche.
Is that what is it about the bent window? What makes that special?
Early, looks cool.
Rare.
Slightly different. Not many of them around. It's, you know, the Gamon Coupe and then
Yeah.
the Pre-A bent windows.
There it is. That silver one to the right of that one.
That's
yeah,
it.
that's
That
it.
one. Yeah.
Fashion grey.
Danny 100.
The most
Fashion gray.
drab possible looking 356.
Won
It
its class
does-
at Pebble Beach 4 days
No,
ago.
for sure.
I spent more time on golf courses in the past week than I've done in my whole life. And I wasn't playing golf. And I
So
don't
how
play
else
golf.
was Pebble?
It was great for me. And I mean, it's not my favorite event, Pebble. I've only ever gone twice. Monterey Car Week is, on one hand, is great because you see everything that you'd never see on the road. You see multi-million-dollar cars
Yeah.
parked in the dirt because there's nowhere to park. What generally is uncomfortable and irritating about Monterey Car Week for me is getting around.
Yeah.
Like that 10-minute drive becomes a 45-minute
Yeah.
drive and there's no shortcut. But this time for me it was great. Went to a lot of different things. Normally I'm just Laguna Seca, Porsche, and that's about it. The Works Reunion was there, and then hanging out, driving this one around, I got invited to things I never thought I'd get invited to. Like,
Yeah, media credentials are dope, right? You been to the Quail?
yeah, you don't have to sneak in.
Did you go to Quail?
Yeah, I went to the Quail. I went to
Quail's
that.
fire, right?
Started out at that Jet Center lab place on whatever night that is, Wednesday,
down to
Thursday.
earth at the
yeah,
Jet
real
Center.
down to earth, just blending in with another beard convention at the Jet Center in Monterey. Yeah, then I went to the Quail, which was some pretty cool cars there, really.
Yeah, it's more about the open oyster bar, my
The
friend.
interesting
That's
thing
what your
about the
ticket's
Quail
buying.
is, when they were doing the awards at the end, there were probably 100 people in front of the stage. Nobody cared about the awards at the Quail.
No.
It's like a schmooze fest there, I think.
They care about it like kind of later, like on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't give a shit there.
Not there, no.
No one's gonna stick around for the fanfare the way they do at the Concours.
I mean, for me, the
But it's
highlight...
cool to just be in traffic idling next to a 250 GT,
Yeah,
California.
exactly.
But here's the move, Dan Neal. I'm gonna blow up the spot, but Dan Neal had the move 2 years ago, which was when
Helicopter?
he drove some Bentley from LA to Pebble.
Okay.
And had a press Vespa
Oh,
delivered
there
to
you go.
his
Smart move.
house, and
Press
he rolled
Vespa.
around
Like it was in Quadrophenia.
Dude, he rolled.
With the
He got
Parker.
anywhere in 10 minutes on this
Yeah.
Vespa
Yes.
in Monterey. It was genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely genius. Parked right up front. No one gave a shit. It was
Did he dress up
amazing.
as the Jam though and put on the park?
Oh,
and really
you
Oh,
know
he's the most well-dressed Vespa
Yeah.
rider ever. He would look like an Italian tailor showing up to
Yeah.
kind
He
of.
got
I
a
mean, I
special
saw he
helmet
was
for
this
the
year
occasion.
too.
Oh, he
had
always
the
is.
full jacket
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
he
pretty
he
good.
was
does it.
representing.
He does
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Pretty
we
smart.
love Dan. But that's
It
the
sounded
move.
to
The
me
move
like
is
you didn't
motorcycle.
go up there. I didn't see you up there.
I didn't. It's in between two. It was like right in between two trips. So it was just no way I could do
No
it.
time.
Sucks. It'll be there waiting next
Yeah,
year.
next year it'll be the same people, same
But you were
stories.
about to say the highlight for you was what?
was just driving different cars. I mean,
Oh.
normally it's hopping out at what I call OPP, other people's Porsches. You know, I actually flew up to San. It's funny. I came back from my trip, which we'll talk about later on a Monday, 5-week trip, and then went up there on the Wednesday, flew up to San Jose, and drove down with Alex from Sharkworks in his 964. Which you've hung out with him. It's always a fun time with him.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Sharky out there wherever you are.
Sharkworks. They're very. Alex is super active on Instagram. I think he has liked more of my posts. So thank you, Alex.
Yeah, he's good
for
at that.
liking all my posts on Instagram.
And for those that
his little
don't-
964 is nice too.
Yeah, well, you drove that?
Yeah.
So I drove that down. I mean, they're great at making things go faster and sound better, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know they really excel at that. And sort of I think their greatest. Well, everything's great that they do. The GT2, GT3, but the GT4, their Cayman GT4. That's
Oh, the
really
silver
good.
one. That
Silver one.
car was.
You did a
nice.
one take on
I
that, right?
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That car was really good.
I mean, moment you shift out of second gear, you know,
Mm.
there's something slightly different with that car.
That's good.
So that was my Monterey experience, really, and then came back yesterday, put like 600 miles on that Jag. You know, I'm a former E-Type owner, so I like the idea of Jag.
Types are great. I drove one of those like hot roddy ones. It wasn't like the
Eagle?
Eagle. It wasn't an
Okay.
Eagle, but it was basically an Eagle, but it wasn't. You know, it wasn't from
Minus
that
the
brand.
Eagle
It
badge.
was incredible though. Just the motor and
Torquey.
that. Yeah, it was awesome.
Elegant.
Yeah.
I mean, they still look cool over 50 years later.
But
Oh, yeah.
just like there's nothing there. They're so like minuscule. It's crazy.
Very thin. Like, there's a jack shop just down the road
Slender.
here, and every now and then an E-Type coupe, green. I've been behind it in traffic before. I'm like, what are you
There's
doing here?
There's
they're
a great
timeless.
little Jag shop up the road here.
Mm-hmm.
They have a full Union Jack XJ coupe in the parking
Oh.
lot.
Sick.
I want to
The
give him.
Jaguar.
That's cool.
Oh, I want to give him $600.
We took
for that.
a hot
Yeah.
lap. Flip back to the Instagram. I'll show you the little hot lap,
Oh.
parade lap we did with a Paul
XE.
Edwards, this Jag driver. It's closer to the top. It's great that you've got this thing up there.
Yeah, we decided to
Scroll
to
down a
try
few.
and be like professionals. It's only worked partially.
Where is it? You have to see the video. There.
Well, last time he
I
was
think you
on,
passed it.
remember Magnus was giving me shit because he's like, if only you had a device in front of you, you could look
Yeah.
up pictures to show the audience. I'm sitting at my laptop.
You know,
just-
I put it in the
That's true.
story. and it's
Magnus,
gone, but-
maybe you were the
Inspiration for that?
Possibly. I mean, this has existed.
I mean, this is great trying to find
So what?
photos.
Do we
to
not
talk
have a
about.
video? Do we not have this video?
I put it in the
Wah,
story. But it was great.
wah.
In the Union Jack Jaguar, this guy was drifting pretty much the whole lap at Laguna Seca.
Those
I like
vintage guys
historic
are
races
nuts.
are awesome.
Yeah.
I just love it. They're actually being, you know, we can admire the metal all we want while it's sitting still, but hearing it, the different ones ring out, and how does this '60s Mustang sound compared to this E-Type run in the
Yeah.
same class? Like
It's pretty
that's
awesome.
an experience.
See some really serious driving as
For
well.
sure.
True.
Some of those
Serious
guys.
cars up there.
Yeah. The scariest is when you see the guys who are driving like the '70s Formula One cars, the kind of cars that would fucking kill Nicky Lauda,
Yeah, James
and some banker thinks he can control this thing.
Yeah, he's got the skills of
you know,
Nicky Lauda.
racing
Yeah.
against Jackie Stewart.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is like, dude, who do you think you are? I went to a vintage race and they were very nice to me at this event, so I don't want to shit on anyone or anything there, but there was literally a guy who had bought an Indy car from like 3 seasons ago.
Makes perfect sense.
He spends $500,000 and he shows up with the truck and it's like it says like Target on it. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
forget
Oh
whose
my
car.
Scott
it was.
Dixon's former car, or
It
Darren
wasn't
Franchi's
Scott
former
Dixon,
car or
but it was
something.
it was
Yeah.
one of those. It was a name. It was a
Right.
names car. One of those guys. And this guy, I just watched him putter the fuck around this
Yeah,
racetrack.
getting passed by people.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, why do I get it. You love IndyCar and you're this driver and you want to feel close to that. Like I kind of get it, but like, why did you think you could drive that?
It's like when Hammond drove that Formula One car, and he's like, I'm not even heating the brakes up.
That was
Gentleman
Jeremy
races.
Clarkson.
Yeah.
That was
The Renault
Clarkson.
Formula One car, too.
Hammond drove the blue.
I saw the
Renault,
one
right?
you're talking about with
Same
Hannah.
thing.
Couldn't get enough heat in the brakes.
Yeah.
Right? Couldn't go fast enough.
And
to
he's
get heat in the
going
brakes.
faster than he's ever been before in his
Right.
life, and he's not even close.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they say, you got to go around that. He's doing 90 around that turn. They go, you got to go around it at 120 for the downforce to work. It's actually safer the faster you go, but you just can't get fast enough for the downforce to work.
Have you driven a downforce car before?
No.
It's pretty wild. I'm not very good or anything like that, but I have
What do
been.
you drive?
this thing called a Praga R1,
Okay.
which is like a prototype-y car.
Open wheel car?
No, it has closed. It has
Okay.
closed arches. But Tim, pull up a picture of
Car's
Praga
cool
Praga R1.
This is going to lead into a conversation on
but
Formula
it's
E.
it has real downforce over.
Let's see this.
Yeah, the blue one right there.
The blue one.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that thing.
Oh, wow.
That looks like
That's
a-
pretty
Wow.
cool, right?
Looks like an LMP2 car.
Yeah, yeah. So that's got it's a carbon tub.
You were in a helmet?
Huh?
I presume in a helmet.
Oh
in
yeah,
there?
yeah.
You drove
yeah.
it on the
I drove
street?
I drove it in Monticello.
Okay.
No, at Monticello,
Okay.
and
That'd be great driving up the snake.
It's a full.
Oh, man.
They apparently they were doing something in Europe. You can drive one on the road or something. You know, you can drive a radical
Which
on the
part
road.
of
Yeah.
Europe?
I think in the UK, in Germany, or something you could drive
Russia.
on the road. But so there's two motors. One is a 240 horsepower Renault Sport 4, and then they have the same motor with a turbo, which is
Okay.
like 320 horsepower. Quick little fucker.
Like
but
an
it's
Aero
got-
Adam
it
with
does
downforce
have,
and a body
it does.
kit.
I think it was 1,500 pounds of
Wow.
downforce or some huge number, which
That's got some stick.
Cool.
I got brave enough on like lap 10 to start using this stuff, and you really realize it once it's there. It's fucking.
You
Crazy.
gotta go fast
Yeah,
enough
it's,
to
the,
make it
the
work.
car's like sticky. It's stickier than like a car can be. You know.
Yeah, it looks like an LMP2 car.
Yeah, I think that car was $275,000, and if
It
you
was.
were a track day enthusiast, I recommend one.
That didn't want a radical.
Yeah, well,
What does a radical cost? A lot
100,
less.
100 to
Less.
150?
Okay.
I think. I think there's that dealer at Spring Mountain. We were out there. There's a dealer, a radical
Spring
dealer at
Mountain?
Spring Mountain that's got like a dozen of them.
Well, they have a radical school there.
Yeah.
And I think also at Monticello they had a couple of radicals too.
And
How
they
many
had
track
this
days
thing.
a year are you doing?
A lot.
A
I
lot.
mean, you define a track day like an
Like a day at the track driving a car.
A day at the track driving, 40 to
Okay.
45
So
maybe.
once a week. All right.
Yeah, I'm at a lot of racetracks. It's very nice. By far, the best part of the job is the track time. Got
Plus-
to do NSX VIR. That was. Have you driven NSX, Hannah?
Yeah, on Pikes Peak.
Whoa. Whoa.
What a
Pikes
shitty
Peak.
experience.
Checkmate.
Gotcha.
Fucking one-uppers
Yeah.
from Bloomberg.
Exactly.
No more invites for her. Okay.
She wasn't even invited. Come on.
How good is the car, though?
Amazing. Underrated.
Very
Amazing.
Very underrated.
I would buy that car over a lot of other cars,
Yeah.
and no one believes me, but I really would.
Yeah.
It's such a good
A
car.
lot of people shit on it, but
I know.
mostly people who haven't driven it.
My first question is, well, when was the last time you drove it? And
No,
Most
very few
people
people
have
have
not
driven
driven
it.
that
It took me a year of finagling to get.
Yeah, I believe it.
And my ass in one. It was tough.
yep,
What was the power loss like going up Pikes Peak with that?
minimal.
I'm guessing. It was
Noticeably less. Like, have
very
you driven
fast.
other fast cars up there recently, especially turbo power
I
ones?
actually, to be honest, that's the only car I've driven on Pikes Peak, so I have no real frame of reference.
Okay.
But minimal.
There's some
Yeah.
crazy power loss there, and then they're like, we need to make sure they have an isolated experience, so
Right.
they have nothing to compare
Right.
this to.
I have no frame of reference other than
They
that
didn't.
car.
Oh, they didn't do competitive makes at Pikes Peak. No.
They could have taken anything that didn't have a hybrid powertrain. It probably would have lost more power, right?
Probably,
By a little
to
bit.
be honest.
The
Yeah.
hybrid
Cars do
go
powertrain
cool.
is not actually all that powerful. I think each front electric motor is like 35 horsepower. It's not like it's a huge amount of horsepower.
Well, that's
at
like
the
2
front.
stickers.
No, but it's really enough to affect the steering and how
Mm-hmm.
it turns in and how it pulls out of a corner, like mitigating understeer on the way in and the way out. Like
Technical. Mitigating under.
it's so trying to explain this car to somebody is so difficult. It's so the engineer, like the head powertrain engineer or chassis engineer, was trying to explain it to me. After like minute 20, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, like. You're really smart, and you have to stop. I don't understand what you're talking about anymore.
He opens
Can
his
I just
mouth
drive the
Let's go
car
drive it.
and we'll talk about it
Let's
afterwards?
go
Do
drive.
the engines basically do what so many cars today have brakes that activate individually to like do or fix understeer
Yeah.
or oversteer? Is it basically doing
Both.
the correct version of that, where it's done with power versus restraining power?
It doesn't.
I'm saying?
Do you want to?
No,
It's
you
getting very,
please,
very
please
technical
go
right
ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
It uses the regen to brake the inside front wheel when you're braking
Sweet.
into a corner, and then it overdrives the outside front wheel to shove the nose in where you want to go out of the
So
just
corner.
excellent.
Constantly adjusting.
Yeah, and
Continually, constantly.
independent of each other.
Yeah.
So like most all-wheel drive cars will push because there's a mechanical linkage between
Right.
the front and rear wheels. So like something's got to give. But this, it's infinitely adjustable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third electric motor is between the engine. It's either between the engine and the clutch, or the clutch and
I
the
don't-
gearbox. but it's a torque fill.
I can't wait 25 years from now when Freddie buys one of these cheap and he's like, oh, I can pull this motor apart.
Well, the
Taverish.
tuners are going to have
Yeah.
some fucking field day with this
Oh my
thing.
God.
It's going
Well,
to be.
talking of 25 years down the road, do you think people are going to be making internal combustion engines in 25 years? Like
God, I
major
hope
car
so.
manufacturers? But do you think they're going to be? I mean, this
Yeah,
is
the,
the question.
50-50
ship doesn't
maybe?
turn that fast. I think living in LA and you really overestimate the market for electric cars. go to Kansas. Ain't nobody driving Volts or Leafs and shit.
But you know, like
I
you
don't know,
hear
man.
Volvos, no longer making internal combustion motors. You talk to people at Porsche, they're all about the Mission E, and you kind of
And
see
semi trucks are going that way
kind of see
too.
the writing on the wall that
I think it gets
25
them
years
in the
down the road.
news.
Well, for me, it's really tough to figure out who's motivating that sort of speak. Is it government mandates
Yeah.
and that sort of thing, or is it consumers?
And those
or is it the
government
automaker
mandates-
trying to be proactive to get ahead of what they
Yeah.
think will be? It's very tough to tell who's actually wanting that.
And aren't the government mandates always like 2 steps forward, 1
Yes.
step back?
Yes.
So if the government says everything needs to be a hybrid or electric by 2020, Volvo will be like, we're going to do it by 2019.
See.
But then when you get to 2020, the government goes, holy shit, that wasn't feasible at all. 2028.
Yeah,
You know? And
it's
they
really
just
tough to
roll it-
tell
roll it
who's
down
sort
the
of
hill.
driving that speak.
So, Formula E, you guys fans, not fans?
Not fans. You?
Well,
I went to it.
Was it good?
So did Magnus.
I went to it in Long Beach a couple
That's
years
the one
ago.
they dropped off the calendar. It's not even
Yeah.
on the calendar no more. They dropped it.
Maybe because it was dull as rocks in
Right.
Long Beach.
Honestly, I had fun.
And Long Beach is
You
a great
like,
circuit.
where did you go? The New York one?
I went to the one in Red Hook,
The
and I've been to
Brooklyn
plenty
Grand
of
Prix or whatever?
F1
Yeah.
races. I had fun. I went in with
So
low
what did you like
expectations.
about it?
It was chic.
It was chic.
It was chic.
I'm
Chic
sorry.
and Red Hook.
It was
How
chic.
chic are we talking? Monaco Grand Prix?
No.
chic?
There were a lot of
One of the chic.
Europeans. There
Really?
were people who were Formula fans there in
Really?
Red Hook. It was situated in. This is literally Brooklyn,
pull
New
up the
York.
Brooklyn race
It's
specifically,
quiet.
Formula E
It's like
Brooklyn.
quiet, but there's
Formula
still
E
no.
Brooklyn.
People don't like it because it's quiet. There's still plenty of noise. It just doesn't sound like a combustion engine. There's still
Right.
plenty of noise.
Right. I
Um,
suppose if the cars are racing in between buildings, then what noise
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is will echo.
Yeah,
Was
you
it
know,
right
and
between
you've
buildings?
got Audi, BMW, Porsche
Porsche's
now,
jumping in, yeah,
all
I heard
on
that.
pushing
No.
it very
I don't
hard.
quite get it. I mean, pulling out an
Can they
LMP one.
fucking?
I don't know. I had
do
fun.
they still
I had
switch
fun.
cars in the middle
Yes,
of the race?
they do.
They
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
do
they
that.
Yeah.
That's
They
I thought it
have
was kind of
to.
cool.
if you can't run a race
Yeah, what does it
with
say for
one
hybrid? Yeah,
car,
it's a
I
20-minute
mean,
race.
Look.
come on. Even if you had to like take a
Well-
break and do battery swaps, like a mandatory or
You
something,
can't get the batteries.
but the
out
changing
quickly.
of the cars is just.
They should do better because, like back in the day, they used to build engines so crazy that an engine would pop and they'd have 2 more F1 engines there or 2
Right.
more Le Mans engines, and they just do an engine swap in the pits. So they
Well, I
should
think
do
in
battery
the
swaps
90s,
too.
Formula One let you have backup cars.
Yeah, well, for
Remember
sure,
that
yeah, yeah.
the Martin Brundle crash in Australia?
Just when I got in the backup car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie One. You ever see that documentary?
Yeah.
Have you seen there's a documentary called
good.
One, just the number one, and it's about the history of Formula One. It's incredible. Michael Fassbender
Could be. Could be him.
narrates it, but yeah, Martin Brundle has this crazy crash, but he's okay.
Runs to get in the
and he
backup car.
literally runs back to the pits, gets a new pair of gloves and a new helmet, and gets in the backup car and goes out and races again. Fucking
cool.
crazy.
The good old
That's
days.
super
Pretty
cool.
cool.
The good old. You imagine the balls to go out and back in a race after
balls,
you
right,
just had
yeah.
a wreck like that.
Oh, you got so much adrenaline right then.
Yeah,
You-
pumped up.
Car
yeah,
flew and rolled.
yeah. No,
You know, it was
he
one
could
of
have walked
those.
on his hands
It
back
was
to that
one
car.
of those.
Wow.
Floated there, levitated back
That's
to the car.
crazy.
So street course,
Yeah.
awesome, right?
Awesome. The bottom line is I had fun. It was fun. It's so accessible and easy because it's right in the city. It's diverting. It's fun.
Did you How did you
I-
find watching the race itself? Cars going around.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good. Where they could have done a better job is promoting it. None of my friends in New York really understood it or knew about it. I did because I'm in this industry.
Yeah, if
but,
you didn't know about it, there would be a real big
Right,
problem.
that'd be a huge problem. But like once you're there, I thought they did a great job with the announcers. They had screens all over, so you could see every turn.
There were a lot more
the-
people there than there were at Long Beach, I'll tell you that. So I was thinking
Yeah.
there was
Sorry,
going to be nobody
there's a lot
there.
more people than there were at Long Beach.
At Red Hook.
Really?
For the Brooklyn Grand Prix.
Oh.
So I don't know if they gave away like 20,000 tickets.
They give away tickets like candy in Long Beach. You can't
Well,
listen to
that
the
is
radio.
what-
But this is so much
Come
easier
to
to
Martin
get to.
Toyota.
That's the
Drive
thing.
a
It's
new
like I don't know.
FRS.
It's easy. You literally just take a subway there.
Take a
Or you
subway
take
there,
A
yeah.
$15 cab ride. and you're there.
Do they
It's easy.
provide?
You can take a ferry there, actually.
Yeah, you can take a ferry.
One of my least favorite things about Formula One. Have you ever had gotten to go to Monaco?
Yes.
I haven't done that.
You
Yes.
seem like you have.
Yeah,
for
a couple
media.
times.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But
I
if
love
you
it.
don't have
All access.
Yes.
of the correct
Right.
access to the correct viewing point, it's a horrible place to watch a race.
Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Is it really about the race? If you go for
No,
most
it's
of the
about
people,
the Russian prostitutes
Right.
and the
On the
vodka.
yacht,
Right.
on the
mostly.
big
honestly,
Yeah.
for I would say
Yeah.
for 80% of the people who attend, it's not
Yeah.
about the actual race time.
I know the clubbing was really fun.
Yeah, of course.
I saw Leonardo DiCaprio with 12 bitches.
Well,
You were in the right spot.
I was in the right
then.
club.
You were in the right
It
club.
was that club that's down on the water. You go down the elevator
Sure.
like
Wouldn't
into the
know.
cliff.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
I
Yes.
did go to
A
my
lot of
first
money at
F1
Monaco.
race, though, was here at Coda.
At
That's
Coda?
cool.
Is
Yeah.
that one worth going to? I was thinking
Great
about going
circuit.
later
And
this year.
talking of access, I went with my buddies at Red Bull and had all access. Like,
No, really, with Red
watch
Bull,
the race
huh?
from the pit. So I didn't need to go to Monaco. I've watched F1 since I was 10, so I'm now
That
50,
must have been a
40
nice
years.
one.
It was great there. The golf cart could go anywhere on the track. It was,
Did it have a can on the back?
of course, big can on top. No, it had a
Big fucker.
little outlaw sticker on the golf course, but great track to watch Formula
Have
One.
you driven the circuit?
No.
I gotta get in there
haven't
and
driven
drive it this.
It's funny, I've been to
this
the
fall.
WEC race there, I've been to MotoGP there, and I've been to F1 there, but never driven it.
I
Looks
love
cool.
MotoGP. Those guys are
Oh,
out of
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
fucking
Those guys are
Yeah.
mind.
insane.
Now they got
Yeah.
elbows on the ground,
Yeah.
and they're drifting bikes on purpose
yeah,
to
yeah.
pass people in rumble strips.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I saw that video.
What?
That was crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing, amazing bike control.
Isle of
Control.
Man is the
Isle
one
of Man,
I need.
I
That's
think
the
is
one I
a
need
real
to go
big
to.
balls
Can
thing,
we
of
get
course.
like a? Can we get a house? Can we just book a house somewhere on the Isle
Airbnb,
of Man?
Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Do an
You wanna
outlaw
just
gathering
go?
there or something.
Be
Hang out with Guy Martin.
Be
Be
fun.
cool, right?
That
Guy
guy's
Martin.
great.
I would love to spend 10
He
minutes with
seems
Guy
real,
Martin.
10 minutes, spend the day with him. right?
Maniac.
He seems like a real cool guy.
There's a great video of Guy Martin narrating a lap at the TT, and it's
Have you seen that documentary film of him at Le Mans, where he breaks his, not Le Mans, Isle of Man TT?
No,
He's basically living out the back of his camper van, doing the TT thing. That's the one where he goes
He's the
through
guy
the
who's
wall
like
and
the
breaks his
bravest man on the planet
Totally.
and gets no money.
Yeah, no, those guys.
for any
back. And
of
still
it.
works on
Of
trucks.
course.
Is that he's
Yeah.
like a fucking diesel mechanic
Exactly,
or
yeah.
something.
Won't quit working on the truck.
Oh
I
my
mean, that's the craziest race, arguably in the world, and those guys do it. It's once a year,
Right.
And then they go home. No sponsor is going to throw you $1 million for that because no one
guess-
cares about it as much as other racing.
I guess
really.
there's three main guys there: Joey Dunlop, the McGuinness
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and
Alec McGuinness was that
Yeah.
one? Is that Alec? John McGuinness?
John McGuinness.
John McGuinness, right?
Yeah,
Who the fuck is Alec McGuinness? I don't know.
that's the guy that makes the.
He got
drive, right?
fourth place. No one
Yeah,
cares.
third
Fourth
loser.
place. At the
amazing.
24, we finished 50th
That's it.
place. Exactly 50th.
50th.
Out of 86th, 80, no, 98.
Yeah, it was like 100. There was like
Yeah, it was a
100
lot.
cars.
It was a lot, but whatever. Stupid racing.
Everybody's
For
a
fun
winner.
though.
Everybody's a winner.
Everybody's a winner, right?
All right, we're gonna take a break and sell some real estate, and when we get back, I want to hear about the world tour,
The world
5
tour.
weeks,
Yeah, 5 weeks.
and
Well,
the book,
The
and
book.
all that jazz, and we presumably have quite a lot incoming on that.
Questions?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, back in a minute. The Smoking Tire Podcast is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job listing to 100+ job sites with just one click. Then, their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your job better than anyone else. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in one day. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Simply screen, rate, and manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, kids. Free 99. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/smoke. ZipRecruiter.com/smoke. One more time. ZipRecruiter.com/smoke to get qualified job candidates at your company. That's right. Here we go. How about also brought to you by Garage Boss Oil Drain Pans. We've got the most glorious drain pans in the studio right now. Garage Boss, makers of innovative oil change accessories, is introducing the new Reacher Height Adjustable Drain Pan. This height adjustable catch funnel gets you right under your drain plug to prevent misses or splashes. It works with low profile cars, cars on ramps and jacks, trucks on the ground, or trucks on ramps and jack. Any possible combination of cars, trucks, ramps, and jacks, right? All of them. Drains into a sealed container. All you clean up is the catch funnel and you're done. The pieces snap back into the drain container when you're finished. And Garage Boss has a new line of crystal clear funnels so you can see what you're pouring to prevent overfilling in messy spills in your engine bay. The clear funnels also aid in cleanup so you can see your funnel is completely clean so you don't accidentally miss fluids before you store it. The Reacher Oil Drain Pan is sold exclusively at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. Check out the video at AutoZone.com showing how it works, or go to GoGarageBoss.com to see everything they do, or search Amazon for Garage Boss oil drain pans. The official racing simulator, as I sip my water, of the Smoking Tire Podcast is Forza Motorsport. I am super excited. You guys, I have gotten to play Forza Motorsport 7 a little bit. I know just a little bit about the over 700 cars, about the 30 racetracks, about the 1080, the 4K, the 60 frames per second, the HDR, all the acronyms you can stuff into a sandwich, folks. I have played it just a little bit. I've only gotten to play with a controller. I haven't gotten to play with a wheel. But I can tell you, it's dope. The color is sick. The sound is sick. The force feedback in the joystick is sick. I am super excited to get it on. Also, I think I can tell you this. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. I'm in the game as me. I'm introducing some races, talking about some things, doing some voiceover, and it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to have the full version in my hands in the studio so I can play it. Friend us over Xbox Live. Find us at TST Racing, and also check out ForzaMotorsport.net and Xbox.com/Forza for all the latest release information, or to pre-order Forza Motorsport 7, the official racing simulator of the Smoking Tire Podcast. Lastly, Dylan Optics sunglasses. It was a burner out there today. I was out in the sun filming this morning, and without my Dylan Optics sunglasses, by the time I got in to film this episode, my eyes would have been on fire. Like, the sun is so bright here in California in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the day. The glare is just crazy, and you need more than just polarized sunglasses. The NIR lens technology has 2 polarizers. That's right, 2. One polarizer coating the lens like a normal pair of sunglasses, and then another polarizer sandwiched in between 2 pieces of lens. Okay, and what that does is it filters more light. It keeps your eyes feeling better at the end of a long day in the sun. And also with the matte finish, it looks pretty cool because it doesn't reflect. It makes you look like the Terminator, as they say. If you go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the Partners tab, there's a banner for Dylan on there. And if you order a pair of Dylan Optics using that link, I will give you a free Smoking Tire t-shirt as appreciation for being someone who supports the people who support us. I don't just wear those glasses because I like how they look, even though I do. I wear them because they keep my eyes in really, really good shape after how many shoot days have I had in the sun. And now, back to the show. Back. We gotta be like blah, 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 blah.
We're back.
We're
Back
back.
in black.
With Magnus Walker. Yes. And Hannah, what's your last name again, Hannah?
Elliott.
Hannah Elliot. I apologize, Hannah.
That's cool.
From
nice.
Bloomberg.
Great.
Bloomberg.
Hannah
Yeah.
from
Bringing a
Bloomberg.
little bit of class to the Smoking Tire.
Mm-hmm.
It
is a rare
classy lady
Classing it up.
with product
Hello.
knowledge, everything.
Hello.
Technical knowledge. Right?
Pikes Peak experience.
Hello.
Peak
hello.
experience.
God damn. Know how to pick them, sir.
Incredible. I'm just driving around.
So you have written a book.
Well,
Hilarious.
yeah.
Did you ghostwrite a book?
I ghostwrote it with this great guy called Martin Roach, who he's written over 150 bucks. Awesome dude, super down to earth.
Dirt don't slow you
Dirt
down.
don't slow you down. Yeah, but a little bit about Martin, because basically he made me look good, just like Tamir made me look good all those years ago. So like everything that happens to me, this happened organically. The road to how do you get a book, how do you get a book deal? How did that happen?
I don't
You
know.
want to know? You guys want to know?
Yes,
Let me tell you how.
you tell me.
So 3 years ago, my buddy Liam from The Prodigy says, hey, a mate of mine is an author. I've known him for like 20 years. He thinks, there may be a book story about you. I'm like, well, let's get together. And I was doing that Need for Speed thing in London. And I met Martin Roach there. And the backstory with Martin is it goes written over 150 books, and half of them are on music. And one of his earliest books was on Prodigy. But he's literally done everything from that to the big boy band One Direction, which is like #1 best-selling book. And then on the automotive side, he'd done everything from supercar books for boys to books on Bugatti. And his current sort of claim to fame was he did a book on Nigel Mansell, English F1 world champion, called Staying on Track, that got nominated top 5 sports books of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally top 5 sport book of all time in the UK. Nigel Mansell in England. I mean, Nigel Mansell's like F1 champion, Indy 500 champion. He's driven a lot of stuff. So I was the follow-up book to that, and essentially people said, well, what's the next book after Mansell? And he submitted me and said, have you ever heard of this guy with the beard? And they said, yeah, we think that story is interesting because it's a bit more than just a Porsche story. It's my life story. It's kind of TED Talk meets Urban Outlaw meets 80% of the stuff you've never heard about me. So long story short.
Listen to our podcast, in which case you've heard many stories.
Many stories, yeah.
Long form.
Long stories. So long story short, we end up getting in a bidding war with Virgin Publishing and Penguin Random House. And my involvement was pretty much with Martin. He just flew out for a week to LA. Last June, we hung out and literally just taped our whole conversations for like 6 days. Ended up with like 30 hours of tape. He went back to England. Well, he did it on his iPhone, no tape. He went back to England 3 months later, gave me the first draft of the book. I changed a few things, and that was it. But he gets into the character, apparently, because he told me his wife said, you're even starting to sound like Magnus, the way you talk, the mannerisms and stuff like that. So my involvement in the writing part was just basically hanging out for a week telling stories. But the backstory to it is when I'd met him in England, we were compatible, got on. Then he came to visit me in Sheffield 18 months ago when I'd gone back for Christmas. So I showed him around where I grew up, the houses I grew up in, where I went to school, all that type of stuff. So he was kind of building this background story. And then the book came out in England June 1st and ended up, believe it or not, getting in the top 10 on the London Times book list.
Congratulations.
Which in the book world apparently is a pretty big deal. And I guess it's the little book that could. But people seem to relate to it because it's not just a book on cars. It's a book on never giving up on your dreams and staying motivated and passionate and basically trying to make stuff happen. It's the story of the book.
That's cool, man.
So that's the book story.
Is it written from your perspective or written from his perspective?
No, it's my
looking
story,
in?
basically talking about growing up in Sheffield in England and going through the things I went through, doing a lot of middle distance runner as a kid, being what I call a lone wolf, where I was never a team sport guy. I was always like a solo individual, and then coming to America at 19, working on a summer camp with kids. There it is. So that was like my first American trip. Took a bus from New York to Detroit, worked on a summer camp with underprivileged inner city kids in Detroit in 86. So you can imagine what that experience was like. I'm this heavy metal kid coming from north of England to Detroit, where everyone's into Run DMC, LL Cool J. It was a culture shock for me. So that was the beginning of what I call this becoming an adaptive swimmer, meaning, to back up, I left school at 15 with 2 O-levels, no real education. 4 years later, I'm in America, and it's kind of like you sink or swim in a sense of didn't know anybody, and it's ultimate survival. You got to sort of fend for yourself and learn to adapt. And that's been my American sort of dream story for the past 30 years of on this constant adventure that I still think I'm on to this day.
That's awesome. Where can you buy the book?
Well, you can buy it at...
Everyone buys on Amazon. Who are we
you can
kidding?
buy it at Amazon.
Who the fuck are we kidding? Everyone buys it on
I think everyone's buying it there because you get it the same day. So
Is it better if we sell it on your website?
it doesn't really matter. You can buy it at urbanoutlaw.shop.com or you can buy it through Amazon or go to Barnes & Noble. But in England, I did something a bit different. Instead of doing a book signing and book tour at bookstores, I actually did them at Porsche centers. So the first one I kicked off was at the Ace Cafe, and believe it or not, I signed books there for 4.5 hours.
Dude, I saw you sign books in Miami for fucking 4 hours. I couldn't believe it.
That's really cool.
How does your hand
really cool.
hold up to that?
Well, I've practiced with my hands, you know what I'm saying? But
That is an unbelievable amount of
standing
book
still
signing.
is the hard thing, believe it or not. It's not hard work, but 4 hours later, your back hurts, your feet ache,
And
your
you've got to
knees
wear
ache.
fucking cowboy boots and shit.
I'm wearing the comfy docks
Oh, you
now.
are. You moved.
Comfy-
You learned
yeah.
better from that
Yeah.
from the first one.
Yeah, moved into Doc Martens. But it was cool
I
doing
thought
books.
all of them were basically car shows, though. Did you do any traditional bookstore
I did one.
signings?
Well, it was pretty cool because it kicked off at the Ace Cafe. And for those not familiar with the Ace Cafe, you know, it's an old North London Circular Road truck stop that's become sort of the iconic automotive hub cafe gathering. It's kind of like Bob's
Isn't that
Big
like
Boy.
where cafe racers kind of come from?
Exactly, back
basically?
in the day, the Ace Cafe in the late 50s. It's kind of like something out of Quadrophenia. So if you're in LA, it's like
Timmy,
Bob's
let's see
Big
what the Ace Cafe
Pull up Ace
looks
Cafe,
like.
steeped in history. So that was the kickoff on a Monday night. That's Ace Cafe right there.
Oh, it's like our rock store.
Ace, well, yeah, it's like the Rock Store. Newcomb's on steroids. It's kind of like if you combine the Rock Store with Bob's Big Boy.
Oh, okay.
Is kind of what it is. But they have different events every night, whether it's car club nights or motorcycle meet nights. So that's the Ace Cafe.
Is there something going on there every day?
There's something going there every day.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like last Monday
That's
of every
what it
month
has
is
over.
Porsche
We don't have
Night.
an everydayer here.
Every day. You know, like Bob's Big Boy is what?
Yeah.
Every Friday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Once a week. This is every day, that Ace Cafe. And it's been like that for 50 years.
Super cool.
So I did book signings at 7 Porsche dealerships, Silverstone, Sheffield, and a few 5 others. And I only did one at a bookstore, which was Waterstones. Their equivalent to, let's call it, Barnes & Noble. And this was in the city. And the interesting thing about that was the night before I'd done Ace Cafe, which was a real melting pot of diverse car culture people, not just Porsche people. Everybody. I think my relatability is everyone likes to drive, and I think that's your relatability of you're not like a one-mark guy. It's kind of like what I brought you here a little
Yeah,
bit.
you brought some Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels stuff. But to finish
With
the
Volkswagen.
Waterstones book stories, for those that don't know, the city is where the financial center of London. So it had gone from Ace Cafe, kind of edgy and gritty, to literally guys coming in 3-piece suits and bowler hats, also waiting in line at a bookstore to get books signed for a couple of hours. So for me, the interesting thing was it was the relatability from young kids all the way up to like 80-year-olds and suit and tie guys in the middle. So I think there's elements in the book that everyone can relate to beyond being a car guy.
Did you find that most of the audience were car people in some regard, or were you having people coming to, especially the car shops, that just they read the book list or they heard your story and thought it was interesting? They don't know shit about cars, and then they come into this place to get a book signed.
It's kind of like the TED Talk I did. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but of everything I've done, TED Talk to this day is still the most viewed thing I've ever done. I probably get more emails from people that saw the TED Talk than have seen Urban Outlaw. And I would say 95% of people that watch TED Talk had no idea who I was, know nothing about me with cars, but somehow connected with a motivational element of what is my life story. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whether you want to brew beer, design cars, be a movie star, rock star, or whatever. People have a dream, and you either follow that dream or you don't. You know, I think my relatability, the authenticity is I never gave up on that dream to do what I wanted to do. So I think to answer your question, a lot of people came to the book signings was a combination of car culture people, but people that may have followed my story through something such as the TED Talk. So
Cool.
Bigger audience, not just purely car-centric.
Right.
And I think that's, for me, is something pretty good, because having left school with no education, it's like doing a TED Talk at UCLA for me was a little bit out of my element.
Yeah, to go from not really having an education to like basically being a college professor.
And the crazy
Pretty
thing
awesome.
is, they actually invited me back. I actually flew back from Europe week before the book tour just to co-host this TED Talk where I was introducing people on stage who were giving TED Talks at UCLA.
Got the host gig going over there.
Well, it's kind of an honor to do it because it was the first time they'd ever done it. You know, normally it's like just TED Talk people at UCLA, not people like me that had actually given a talk.
What do they do? Is it like a series of like 10 of them or something they'll do?
Well, the ones at UCLA is once a year. And generally, they have, I think, 20 people give, an 18-minute talk. It's like an all-day seminar gathering, and it varies every year. There's different themes. But it's just kind of a cool thing. For me, it was a learning experience. I'm always trying to learn, and the great thing about TED Talk is it taught me to be comfortable or more comfortable in a big audience that I'm unfamiliar with.
Couple thousand people.
Probably 1,000 people at Royce Hall. Like,
You go
packed out.
teleprompter or you go memorization?
No, there's no teleprompter, so that's it. You got to sort of talk. It's easy to talk about what you're passionate about. What was difficult for me was introducing people, giving like a 60-second talk on someone who I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
They gave me a script that I had to memorize, and someone's talking about quantum physics, and I don't understand any of that stuff.
Can we talk about 3-liter flat sixes?
You know, it's like the technical specs on the 570 McLaren. I didn't read any of that shit. I just drove in and said, no, I want the 720. That's kind of how it was. 570 is not quick enough. No, you need the 720. It's like, it doesn't come out of corners. There's a little bit of lag, and you're holding your foot flat on these. I expected more. So
the peons can have the 570.
Yeah,
They're
720s or
McLaren.
P1 or F1's the way to go. But back to the book and TED Talk, for me, it's just constantly doing things that I find, exciting and inspiring, and hopefully I push myself to become a better person. And that's kind of, I think, what the book's about. It's the next chapter of my life. I just turned 50, believe it or not, so that's kind of, I'm going through a lot of different things, and that's going to be I can tell the book will be a milestone for me, like in a sense of everything led up to a certain point, and then things came after. It's a little bit like Urban Outlaw 5 years ago, sort of changed. I didn't change, but it changed my life in a way that now I travel around the world.
A lot of doors open.
Yeah.
A lot of doors.
And I think the book's something that's legitimate, Yeah, we all post on Instagram and stuff like that, but it kind of disappears. The book is something that will always be there, right?
Yeah.
It's a different, tangible element,
Completely
I
understand.
think.
Print is the shit.
There's photos in it as well. So, for me, the hardest part about the book was picking the photos, truth be told.
That's cool.
And then I just signed up a deal with a German publisher who's going to translate it into German, and now it's going to get translated into Spanish and Portuguese.
Book syndication. Hell yeah, son. That's that 991.2 GT3 right there. That's that
GT2 RS
money.
Gen 2.
Oh, that's that money.
It's a 911R.
Man, good man.
So
proud of you.
We'll see where the book
Well,
goes.
it's a cool
That's
marker
amazing.
that your life is a story worth telling, because especially regarding Instagram, like you're on Instagram, but there's a billion people on Instagram, and everyone thinks their story is worth showing people, but it's not really true.
Yeah, I think
And
in a
it
sense
kind
the
of
book
brings you
legitimized
love.
that, because
Right.
Penguin Random House, it's kind of a major publisher. It's not like I self-published a book on Apple and I'm selling them out the trunk of my car type of thing. I think it legitimized where I'm at a certain point in my life right now. So we'll
I think
see
you
what
said
comes next.
at Miami that you wished you had more to sell out of the trunk of your car. You sold out very quickly.
We could have sold a lot more books there. I'm going to be doing a signing at the Peterson Museum and then moving forward. So it's kind of hard to, I guess, figure out how many books people want. But yeah, in Miami, we sold out and people wanted more books. And it was similar to that in England. So we'll see how it is in the States. So
What
looking forward to that.
was your some memorable stops on the tour regarding the car culture that showed up at your meets?
One of the
There's a lot
coolest
meets.
things is, I always talk about how I fell in love with Porsche as a 10-year-old. That story is real familiar, but to backtrack, my dad took me to the London Old Court Motor Show, White Martini Turbo on the stand, had the poster. Fast forward to London, like 6 weeks ago, 40 years later, that car was there. The
No
Porsche Club
way.
London had tracked down the owner of that exact car, not a replica or one of five, the actual car that was
That was
at the
on the
London Old
poster,
Court, that
yeah.
was on the poster and at the show, tracked that car down and brought it to the event, and then the owner allowed me to sign the car. So that was kind of a memorable
Jesus.
moment,
How
because
about that?
was the car that I fell in love with Porsche, the actual car.
That's crazy.
So that was a great moment, and just the
Nice
whole tour
circle
was
there.
kind of a whirlwind.
You let you drive it?
No, he didn't let me drive it,
He'll let
unfortunately.
you write your name on it, but he won't give you just a few minutes of seat
Yeah, I
time.
asked. He said, "Well, maybe we can sort something out next week." But
That's how good,
I'm on a tour, you keep
That's how
going.
good of a fucking racket press cars are, right? Because you could write your name on a car and even then not get seat time. And press cars are all about seat time.
yeah, I'll show you photos of that. So
I
that-
remember seeing that on your Instagram. What was it? The Martini livery
Yeah.
76 Turbo?
Oh, yeah, it's up there. You'll find it. I'll pull photos.
It's like
of it.
white with red and blue stripes.
Let me go through
Very,
77.
very pretty.
Let me go through 77,000 photos here.
Oh, no, Tim will find it.
But no, I know
We
it
have
happened
our
in June,
confidence.
June 2016,
Is that?
No.
June 2017.
June 2017.
Here we
That
go.
could
I'll
be a
find
ways
it.
back.
It might be, yeah.
London. No, it's here. Look, here it is. Check it out. So here's the car.
This one?
No. They all look
That's
the same.
pretty kick-ass, though.
That is pretty kick-ass.
Well, this isn't helpful, Magnus.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
Look, there's the car.
Oh, show it to him so
Well,
he
hold
can
on, though.
find it.
Hold on. I'm going to show you.
The stripes are awesome. Oh, the seats are
Look at
awesome.
the seats. But
The
look at-
seats
here's
are
the cool thing
amazing.
here. Remember I told you let me sign it?
Yeah,
There it is. Signed it.
that's kick-ass.
Oh,
Now show it to him so he can find it.
It's somewhere on the Instagram.
We're doing this for the audience, bro.
But zoom in there. Just
Magnus,
zoom in
the
there.
screen was your idea.
Yeah,
And look what
screen
you
was
did.
my idea.
I
But
know.
the photo's on my iPhone.
It's a very pretty car.
So anyway, that was a real memorable moment
Yeah.
that car came. There you go. There you go. Old school. That works great.
Yes.
So we found it
Yes.
pretty quick. No, I mean, that was great. And then I ended up going to Le Mans for the first time.
How's that?
I'd never ever go. Well, it's a marathon event to attend. You know, you get there. You're up for 30 hours and you walk, 30,000 steps.
24-hour race is always seeming a good idea until about hour 10.
Yeah. It was
You're
like,
I need a nap.
it was just, for me, it was overwhelming. It was kind of like an emotional thing. Porsche won. But you sort of got to question the LMP1 class when, 2 cars
Now
out
we
of
can
5
all go
finish.
to Formula E together.
Exactly.
Everyone's abandoning ship, and now we can all go to these nice short races where they have to use 2 cars to.
I think the great Le Mans story would have been if LMP2 won outright, which they almost did. But the most exciting racing was really the GTD class and Aston Martin and Corvette.
Yeah.
That was
That
amazing.
was kind of the most exciting racing
I
at
am
Le
an
Mans.
unashamed Aston Martin fan. I always want to see Aston Martin do well, and they miss the mark a lot. but I really
they got
enjoy when they do.
get close, and I love Astons. They're gorgeous, great sounding cars, and I look at them almost winning. I go, wow, really? You guys? No shit.
Yeah.
Because you're up against Corvette and Pratt Miller, who are just destroying a lot of 24-hour races, and it's
David
like
Brown.
Aston Martin's got some gumption.
The little bulldog that keeps
Yeah,
going,
totally.
right?
The cars, they're fun. They are fun cars.
I've never driven one.
Never?
No,
Oh,
not yet.
Sort him out, please.
What's
Hey,
the what's,
give it
V12
another
S
month.
manual.
I'll get
what's the
one.
latest, greatest Aston Martin that's out there?
The one to drive right now would be like
Vantage.
the Vanquish Zagato.
Okay.
Eh?
Can we
What?
pull that
Yeah,
up?
you
Vanquish
just
Find a
Zagato?
Vantage
The
V12.
new
What's
Vanquish
that?
Zagato.
Find a Vantage V12 with a manual.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said the
first,
Vantage.
The first gen,
Yeah.
the 6-speed one, not the 7
Right.
speed one.
Yeah,
There's a
the
Vanquish
Voltron
Zagato.
leg shifter.
Look at that. That's very
That's a
pretty.
beautiful car.
Beautiful car.
And they just came out with some crazy Roadster one too, right? At Pebble, is there go for a Vanquish Zagato Roadster, which I think was
Zagato sounds good.
it does. It sounds really you can be
Zagato.
classy and snobby at the same time.
Zagato.
Uh,
Well, Bloomberg's with us. We can do that, right?
yeah, right. We can be elitist.
No problem.
We can be elitist and
No
That's what
problem.
Pebble Beach is all about.
we can be
No
snowflakes
problem.
and leftists at the same time.
The Pebble Beach
See,
experience.
that's glorious.
That's
right
such
there.
a beautiful car.
I don't
It
like
is.
convertibles, though. I just really don't like them. Beard in
I
It's
the
agree
wind.
because your
with
hair
you.
flaps.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, if you had
You get-
you'd love convertibles.
Oh, yeah,
if you
yeah.
had my head style.
I think very few cars look better as a convertible than a coupe. It just,
Yeah.
The lines get all weird.
Yeah.
Look at the E-Type Jag.
Spider-
Killer as a coupe.
Yeah.
Not quite as
Still
killer
pretty,
as a convertible.
still pretty as a convertible.
For sure. I mean, I've owned one. Still pretty for
Still
sure.
pretty as a convertible. But you're right. Most of them Targa roofs look good.
The new
Targa
Targa,
roof.
Targa.
Love a Targa.
new Targa Porsche
Yes,
looks killer, right?
355 GTS.
Don't like
I do
it.
not love that.
Ferrari 355.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a pretty good-looking car.
Good-looking
You know what
quick
looks
form.
real good, though, is the 355 coupe.
Yeah, I think that's good value for money, actually. on
And
Car
round
Talk,
and round we go.
Yes.
you guys Ferrari fans?
I mean, if it's a good one, if it's pretty, sure.
Aren't they all good?
No,
Yeah,
if they
I'm
make a
fan.
bus, no.
Most of them are good.
What about if they make an SUV?
Yeah, they're making
No.
an SUV.
Have you been reading this?
How badly do they need the money? Can't they just make another T-shirt?
Yeah,
if they
come
make
on.
another T-shirt with Puma, it'll make more money than the SUV. Just make more T-shirts.
The problem is, like, the
That's a great Photoshop, Tim. Pull that up.
Oh no.
SUV.
Is that like a Ford Kuga with a Ferrari
That's great.
FF front end? That's awesome. No, I mean, he ain't wrong, right? He basically said that there is a customer out there waiting to buy an SUV that has a Ferrari badge.
We know those guys, right?
Of course. They
It's
could
like-
build that.
it's like an
This
FF
guy,
with a
You
lift.
seen this guy? I see him on Reddit all the time. What's that
You see him
watermark
on what?
say, Timmy?
Rain.
Rain, whatever this guy's name is, he turns sports cars and supercars into like off-roaders
Right.
in Photoshop, and it looks killer. He did a Koenigsegg that looked fucking sick.
Did he do a Bugatti as well?
Yeah, and he
I saw
turned a
that
bunch
one.
into station wagons
I
and
saw-
turned a bunch
yeah.
into pickup
I
trucks.
saw that guy.
This guy is kick-ass.
Sounds
Shout
like
out
it
to
should
that
be a
dude.
Gap Bill. Get the
He
bill.
should, but they're all in Photoshop, unfortunately. Not real.
Oh,
Not
I
real,
believe
sir.
that. Get the bill.
So where else did you get other than the seeing that car from the poster? That would be good. But where did you see like culture where you didn't really expect to find it?
Well, there was the 25 days sort of book tour, which was half of it, and then Le Mans. Then I came back for 3 weeks, and then I went on this other road trip tour.
Look at the 918. I'm sorry to interrupt
that's
you,
pretty
but
good.
pull that up. That's the fucking
Yeah.
shit.
They're gonna
The
put,
Rally
that's gonna be in
918.
Fast and Furious 10. It will.
11.
You'll watch.
Yeah.
It'll shoot lightning bolts
That
or
looks
something.
so cool. Look up all this guy's off-road
That does
stuff.
look cool.
He comes up with some cool concepts.
Did you guys see that video I posted on Instagram of going rallying in Germany? And the,
Oh yeah, what was
pull
that?
that
You had
up.
some old.
crazy German
Was that
guy.
like an African safari
Sort of, yeah,
rally
on
driver?
steroids. But the funny thing is
There
the
he
guy
is, right
driving
there in
it.
the middle.
Yeah,
Top-
click that. You got to listen
yeah.
to it. Go big screen here.
If we can.
Turn
And
up
make sure the
volume.
audio's up.
Do we know that? Wait, do we know that audio makes it into this? I don't
don't.
think. we
Is this the first time
necessarily-
you're doing this?
It's the first time we've ever played a video
Okay.
into the feed.
You guys don't.
That
rehearse
may
this
require some technical assistance. But
Finagling.
you can narrate it from here.
before? Well, there's no
like
audio.
Guy Martin
There's
at the
no
Isle
way.
of Man
The,
TT.
the audio is the crazy German guy and what he's saying right here, and it's essentially off-road in this, replica sort of Paris-Dakar Porsche. You can barely hear his accent.
It sounds like Tim is getting something in his headphones,
You getting noise?
or I don't know.
It's a lot funny when you hear
Well.
the German guy talking.
Maybe
That is not
you
a
know
road.
What? We're
That's
rolling the
amazing.
dice.
No.
Maybe they will. This guy's mobbing.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this an actual trail?
No,
Is
not
he-
No.
really. It's
He's
kind of
making
like
his
a
own trail.
walking path. Yeah, he's done it before, but he's having a lot of fun. He's like a crazy
Whoa.
German guy.
Where?
You can hear him.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Where? What country is this in? Germany?
It's just outside. It's in Hamburg.
Wow.
These, I'm telling you,
You're
bro.
gonna scare the
These
shit out of some
off-road
drivers.
911s are the greatest.
Yeah, for sure.
The
This
best.
was like the classic go anywhere.
The single best day of driving I've ever had in my life was in an off-road 911
Where'd you go?
with Lee
Oh, Lee
Keen
Keen on his safari
in his
builds?
house. Is his house North Carolina? His house is North Carolina.
It's on the
Atlanta.
border,
He
yeah.
lives in Atlanta.
No, his other house.
Oh, he's got a
he's
few,
got a
okay.
nice little cabin in
Oh,
the woods,
cabin.
and he's got
Little
trails
Brokeback
and
Mountain
safari.
thing, you guys.
Exactly.
That's what was going on down there in North Carolina. A little
Yeah.
deliverance going on.
100%.
We stayed there the day after
The race.
the coding, the whatever neighborhood code person had passed that house. It was like just finished, and we
There was
slept,
no
we slept on
furniture.
air
Yeah,
mattresses.
there was nothing. It was great, though.
One of us used a towel for a blanket. Like
Oh, nice. You
Yeah,
guys were spooning.
we were doing real well, and then we go outside. We get to drive this awesome car and film it.
He has furniture now.
Right.
Apparently, it's very
You guys
nice.
got to go back.
We had collapsible chairs last time.
You guys
Good
got to
time.
go back. No, he's
Oh,
a
he
real
had
cool guy.
his Instagram is LEHMANK. Instagram.com/LehmanK. He had his house was like a kilometer off the perfect center line for the eclipse. So his time lapse video on his Instagram is sick. His shit goes black. Like his
okay.
whole hood
His
is
shit goes black. That's the funniest thing right
That's
there.
not Lee.
No, that's not Lee King.
Here, that's not him. Here,
That's
wait.
not Lee
I'll
King.
find it for you.
You got to
Tim.
find him.
Um,
So how was your eclipse experience?
I was actually out in the canyons. Here, we passed this to Tim. I was out in the canyons. I forgot about the fucking eclipse entirely, and I
was
went to
just
go
overcast?
drive.
Yeah.
No, but everyone was in the canyons, getting
Right.
whatever with the eclipse. So I had to like wait for them all to leave so I could drive fast because there was just people everywhere.
Annoying.
We had a McLaren with 3 turbos. You want to talk about McLaren?
What is that? 1100 horsepower? Thing?
12.
What's the story with that?
It's
car?
2 into another one. 3 fucking turbos. It goes. Whoosh. It does 2. It's crazy.
How much power does it put to the ground? You think? Or is it just-
Apparently, it's 1,200 the wheels.
Wow.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a dyno. I had the holy
How did it feel,
shit-o-meter.
though?
It felt fucking fast. They were the
Let's see
the
the
thing is
defense.
the disclaimer was that they were look at that. The disclaimer was they were bringing it here for 91 octane testing. So we were
Right.
running it at only 1,000 wheel
So how did
low
that
boot.
feel, though? 1,000
Fucking
horsepower
fast.
wheel?
Really, really fast. You know, there's 2 stages of thrust. The stock turbos and then this extra turbo.
Afterburner turbo.
Yeah, and then it goes bang and shoots fire and goes. It makes all the.
How does that feel compared to the Venom? Because they're both spiders, both have the
The
cage.
Venom
like,
had like the Venom. They had that Hennessy Venom thing. It's like a missile.
Okay.
The Venom maybe felt a little faster, but it had like longer legs. It was like long 6
Twelve
speeds. It was like
gears.
longer gears. This was like
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Jeez.
That was
Okay.
like. You know.
Yeah.
Did you
My
cross any
sound
yellow
effects
lines?
are for stock footage.
Sound effects are good.
No, I did not.
No
I
yellow
did not,
lines
you
were crossed.
motherfucker. I'm a shining example.
No yellow lines were
I'm a
crossed
shining
during the making
example
of this video.
of
One take video.
canyon courtesy. There aren't. You can
Obeying
you can,
all speed
look
limits.
at that GTR wagon. Pull that shit up. You can check the fucking tape, motherfucker.
I will
you
watch
do
it.
that. You
That
check the
is
tape.
better
I will
looking
check
than
it
regular
before we
GTR.
rest.
That looks sick. That
That does look
GTR
good.
wagon. I'm about that. I sit here and look at this kid's photoshops all day.
With the matching canoe, that's pretty
What
nice.
else you got there, Tim? You
It's
got
a very
some other-
outdoorsy
go back to
vehicle.
the
It's like an
results.
inch off the
You
ground.
got to get this guy on the show, I think.
I know.
Where's he from?
I don't skip. Of course, Tim goes to the Tundra. Tim is a Toyota pickup truck.
That's
F-150.
F-150.
Oh, is it? Looks like a Tundra grill from back
looks like
here.
it's a stock truck.
Eh.
That's funny.
Is there more? Isn't there like McLaren rally cars and shit? People
Silence
just
in the
screaming.
room.
Oh, that's cool. Bentley rally car.
Yeah,
What
that's
about
pretty
Bentley
nice.
wagon rally car.
With
That
a
looks
bike
good.
rack on the hood.
A lot of shooting
on the
brakes.
roof.
I haven't
Shooting
seen.
brake.
Have you? Is the production the new Bentley out yet? The GT. I saw the camo cars.
I don't know.
The camo
I
cars
haven't
look
seen one if
hot,
it is.
don't they?
Yeah.
They're gonna be good.
Bentley's making amazing things right now.
Have you driven a Mulsanne? The new Mulsanne.
course, yeah.
Is it dope?
Yeah.
The old one was the shit.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
I love Bentleys.
Bentley
So
funny
I
too.
like the 8, the V8S Bentley. That thing was rocking. I wasn't a big fan of the 12. It went.
Seems to me like you like British cars.
I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Against my better judgment.
What
You know
about
what I'm not
Lotus?
that much of a fan of is Caterhams.
Really?
Because I feel like I'm gonna die when I drive them. And I don't like feeling I'm gonna die.
What about Lotus?
Fan. Evora 400, Evora 410. Oh yes.
Exige.
Too small.
Too small.
Hurts. Hurts.
Hurts.
I gotta drive like this. It's
gotta look cute, you and the Exige.
You guys are both tall. You understand. This is how you drive an Exige.
Yeah. Driving with
Fucking
these
misery. They're fun.
fun cars for
What
sure.
is that blue thing there, Tim? In the middle, right in the middle, second row. Is that a Jaguar?
No, it's
What is
a
that?
Subaru.
Oh, a Subaru
Subaru
wagon.
pickup,
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool.
That's a new Brat, basically.
Oh, someone
Slammed.
should unify
like
that
Holden.
Subaru. It's fuck yeah.
Poland, yeah. One of them
very
Aussie
cool.
things, right?
Yeah. That's the most Australian car in the world.
Yeah.
A
Did you
Subaru
go to
plus a
Australia on your
Holden.
tour? Was it World Tour?
No, I went there last year for their Rent Sport reunion and drove Bathurst. Have you ever gone there and done that circuit?
Only in Forza, but I would love to. Is it the best?
It's a public road. That's a crazy
Oh,
thing.
do you drive it as a road?
It's a public road.
Oh,
It's
so
not
you just-
closed down. So, neighbors start calling the police, telling me you're going too fast.
Whoa.
Before you know it, they're there on the road.
Yo, listen, lady, you moved on a racetrack.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing I can do about that.
No, they go, it's a public road. The racetrack's only, twice a year.
And you go.
It's a
"I'm
great
sorry.
experience.
I'm sorry you moved on a racetrack.
It's a great experience.
Is,
in Forza, it's
is it
amazing.
narrow as far as racetracks go? 'Cause it's
Pretty
public road?
narrow.
Wow.
That downhill chute makes the corkscrew look like it's flat and short. The corkscrew is really not that. It's not the most intimidating turn at Laguna
No,
Seca.
it looks so good.
You
in
hear everything
pictures
about
when
it.
yeah.
You get there and you go, wow. It's not that it's an easy turn. It's not, but the rainy curve turn 9 after it, I think that's the most difficult turn at Laguna
100%.
Seca.
I agree. 100%.
So, corkscrew times literally 4 is Bathurst downhill section.
Yeah.
But it's super tight and there's no runoff. Corkscrew, you got all that runoff.
yeah, there's walls right
There's
on
walls.
the thing.
It feels about as wide as this
Oh my
room. Is how
God.
it feels there, and it's literally 3 times as twisty and steep as the
And there's
corkscrew.
Nan's house right
Oh,
at apex
yeah,
of 3.
It's
It's
crazy.
a funky track. I mean, obviously just playing at video games, but you've got multiple very long straightaways and then that crazy
Yeah, the
downhill
straightaways
twisting
kind of
section.
whoop like that, and then that whole uphill section. I mean, it's pretty
It's one
awesome
of my
to
favorites
drive.
in Forza. I would love to do it in real life. Is there any way, when they close it down, is there any way to drive on it at all? They just shut it down for the race. That's it.
can
Oh,
drive
if
on
press went, for sure to promote it.
You can
Absolutely.
drive
They
on it.
do, right?
Of course.
Find a way to do that. What city is it near?
It's about 2 hours from Sydney. I actually
Okay.
made a video called Aussie Outlaw: the road to Bathurst from Sydney. So it starts going over the Sydney
Harbour Bridge.
and then I drive all the way through to Bathurst, do a lap, and come back. It's about 2 hours out of Sydney.
Oh, okay, cool.
not bad.
How's
can
that
make that.
drive? Is it a nice drive?
It's awesome because you go through some pretty awesome roads where you see kangaroos and stuff.
I have never done any driving in Australia. I would like to.
We drive on the other side of the road. That's all you got to do.
I can't handle that.
Yes.
Have you done New Zealand? New Zealand is the shit.
I haven't gone there
Have
yet.
you done New Zealand?
Nope, never
I'm
been.
I'm a champion of New Zealand.
What about Targa Tasmania?
Would love to.
Yeah, I'd
That-
like
we
to do
gotta-
that too.
that's that you get down with Steve Millen and those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
They all run that stuff.
Well, they got that Leadfoot Festival, right?
We went to that.
Oh, you did? You did
yeah,
that?
we did in New Zealand. Rod
Okay.
Millen's
Yeah, that
thing.
was
Yeah.
cool.
Super cool.
Most
And-
access to a motorsport event other than maybe like King of Hammers. Like
really?
there's no, you just sit on the grass next to the turn wherever you want. It's very much like, oh yeah, Neil, go have a good
It
time.
was
Don't get in
super
the way.
mellow.
That's
and
pretty
just
good
it.
accent.
You
Yeah,
would
it's
love
good.
it. Super mellow.
Do you know that
really
Mad
good,
Mike guy, the drift guy?
Yeah, we met Mad
there?
Mike.
He's there,
He
right?
was super cool with that
Super
like
nice guy.
4-rotor RX-7
Yeah, yeah.
thing. The loudest
Rad Bull.
vehicle on the planet.
Yeah.
Magnus, just lift the mic up to your face a little bit.
I've gotta
And,
cover the face
Rod
up.
Millen's got his like Pikes Peak like
Right.
Celica
In
thing
his backyard there.
Yeah,
right?
and it's, it's his driveway, so he just like it's crazy.
It's cool to see. The
called the
spread of
Leadfoot
cars is
Festival, right?
amazing.
Yeah.
It's there's a guy driving like a 20s whatever that's slow, and then Mad Mike shows up with the rotors going crazy.
Yeah,
and then
1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, and there's just a huge variety, and people are drifting the track or they're trying to time attack it.
Tim, pull up
setting
some
records
Leadfoot
that are
Festival.
48
Pull that up.
seconds.
Maybe we can get a
cool.
video.
And then I want to talk
We're trying to
Festival of
do-
Speed, Goodwood. Have you guys done that?
It's on the
That
list.
was cool.
Leadfoot Festival is. We might be able to get an onboard video if we can. If we are.
Of you bicycling up
I don't
the
know
hill?
what happens if you broadcast video.
You'll find
onto-
out.
onto the
Sure will.
podcast.
You will find out.
It's basically.
This is
in
like a
Rod Millen's
groundbreaking
driveway.
podcast right here, right?
I know it's a lot of firsts today.
Yeah, a
Look
lot
at
of
this. This is a brilliant corner.
Yeah.
They have no problem with you hover. Pull that picture out, Tim. Where that Audi S1 Quattro is, you could literally hover a drone 4 feet above that car, and nobody will
Amazing.
give a fuck.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Amazing.
I was flying through the trees
Without
and
a
stuff.
pilot's license.
On that
No.
corner.
Yeah.
Must have been a lush winter because there's a lot of
look how green
vegetation
it is.
there. There was a little less vegetation.
It's like the full-on Volta
It was
roll.
great. It was sunny, middle of nowhere.
Sideways.
Really fun, nice people. A ton of access. It was like a Goodwood, but that like nobody had ever heard of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Goodwood
it was an
without all the
obscure Goodwood.
Goodwoodness.
Yeah.
So have you done Goodwood or you
No,
haven't done
no.
Goodwood?
But
Okay.
tell me if you.
I've done the revival, which is like stepping back in time. That's the vintage thing, which is
I
like
really like
Did
that.
you go period for
I
that?
did sort of. Well, I went sort of late '60s Mick Fleetwood hippie vibe. I wasn't going. There's
Bell-bottoms?
there's
You
a
go
lot of
bell-
full-on '40s '50s vibe. A lot of people dressed up in military garb, but it's like being in the Twilight Zone, stepping back in time at a racetrack, and it's awesome. Everything's pre-1965.
The racing there, I mean, those guys are the people.
Those
drivers
guys,
are
if you
crazier.
think Monterey Historics,
Right.
Monterey Historics is parade racing.
Yes.
Goodwood Revival, those guys are throwing around 10,
racing.
15, $20 million cars and
Harris
rubbing.
told me about
Chris
the
Harris?
racing. Yeah, about
Yeah,
the
he
racing
races there,
there.
right?
Yeah,
People
and he
get-
said there's a couple different kinds of people who race. There's like the guys who raced back in the day
Right.
who are still alive.
And they're
Then
80.
There's like the rich guys,
Right,
and then
the
there's
gentleman
guys
racers.
like Chris who sort of get
Hot
like
shoes.
hired to. But he said the guys who raced back in the day are by far the most hardcore.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't
and-
give an
It's
inch.
cool.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
they-
sliding on grass,
Yeah.
passing
24 hours
Yeah.
in the mall
away.
with like 2 people, on their
Yeah.
team. It's like what?
Yeah, they get some diet pills, a whiskey, and a 1 cup of water, and they're just like, let's go racing.
Hardcore stuff.
Really cool.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Festival of Speed seems to have opened itself up to all the drift guys. You watch Vaughn Getting drifting up the hill.
Yeah.
And Ken Block there, going up the hill. They seem
trying
to
to get that younger demo.
There you
True.
go, the young
It's
They-
more
they
exciting to
know.
watch than just, hey, they ran a 112
Yeah, yeah.
up past the hay
Yeah.
bales.
Yeah.
Next up, who cares?
shredding tires going sideways.
I mean, I like seeing the cars go up the hill. That's a fun event,
Right,
but
for
it's-
sure.
It's, a
It's
good,
such, but it's such a short. That's why I like the revival so much because it's the same similar cars, longer duration.
I think it's cool to see like the concept cars, like the future stuff, go up the hill too. That's kind of as like a. If I'm going to watch a web stream, I think that's the one I want to watch. If I
That's
want to
what
go
you're
in
watching.
person, I want to go to the revival.
Revival does a good web broadcast,
Do they?
though. Yeah,
Does
it's
that mean
it's
you like to
TV.
dress up? Is that what you're saying? You like
I
to
like
dress
to go
up?
in period. Fuck yeah, all day.
Yeah, I could see you
My
dressing up.
girlfriend, also named Hannah, would love that shit.
Well,
She would be all about it, about doing something in costume.
Yeah, you
Hell
guys can go have a picnic.
What's the
take
event
a
on the
picnic.
beach that Jesse Combs did where
Oh,
her
that's
steering wheel
the,
came off?
Yeah, the race,
Race
of
of
gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Yeah.
Have you
Race
done
of
that
Gentlemen.
one?
No, I've never done
I
that one.
did it this year for the first
Did you?
time. I loved
everything
it.
about it.
I drove 3 hours one way to get there.
Was it the Pismo one or the Jersey one?
Wildwood, New Jersey. Amazing. Talk about access. You're literally just on the sand. There are no barriers
Tim,
at
pull
all.
up the race of
Great.
gentlemen.
That's the
Race
best.
of Gentlemen.
It blows
guys
my
done that
The
mind.
race on the beach.
On
Yeah.
the beach, no barriers. It's a bunch of
Race of Gentlemen, right?
yeah,
ROG?
yeah. In Wildwood, New Jersey.
Is it?
It's all.
isn't
It
the
actually
actual
starts
race-
Friday. It starts on Friday, and they run the races through Sunday. They have a huge bonfire on the beach Friday night.
So how many
It's
cars
epic.
were
Epic.
racing at this?
Who
thing?
knows? I don't know. It's totally wild. There are no lanes. It's not. It's literally just you start
Yeah,
on
there you
a
go.
line in the sand.
They're trying to hit the highest top
Motorcycles
speed, or
and no, I mean it's just like a straightaway. It's
What's
it's
the
really
newest allowable
unregulated.
year? 29 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I
Like-
mean it's totally unregulated and wild.
There's just
They
like
just
ladder
run everything.
frame shit
There-
boxes.
I mean it's really like untouched in terms of
Sweet.
sponsors and regulations. It's
Should be.
super wild and cool.
So there's an East
And-
Coast version and a West Coast, the Pismo Beach one?
yeah. There's a Pismo
okay.
Beach one now.
It's so
But
worth
the,
going
the Wildwood one is the original.
to. I have to go every year now. I
Wait,
mean
so
it's
how long is the actual drag
this.
strip?
I mean,
It's like the size of this table, right? It's like
Pretty much.
Jersey
I mean,
Shore.
it's like maybe a half mile.
half a mile would be
Maybe
super long.
on the
That's
beach.
pretty far.
No, maybe I think
At the longest point. It's short.
it's
It looks
small,
pretty
right?
cool.
Yeah.
But I think a half mile is
It's
a lot
straight.
longer than you think it might be right now.
And you could
It's
dress
Half
possible.
mile would be
costume.
insanely long. I was told it was like 100 yards.
No, it's longer than that.
It is?
It's way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
That's
belly
pretty-
that belly tanker was awesome. Pull up that belly tanker.
Yeah, look at that.
That's hot. Those things,
Yeah.
those are literally land speed cars made out of fuel tanks
I love
from
those. Those
like
are cool.
bombers.
That is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
They just took them off the plane, put a motor and a seat in them.
When they leave them,
around El Mirage.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
where they race these
they
things.
do that.
What is this guy doing at the back end
I'm
of
trying
that
to figure that
vehicle?
out.
Is that a starter? Is he
That's a-
helping to do a brake
It's the
stand?
brakes. It's the brakes.
Yeah.
He's breaking it.
The poorest person at the race of gentlemen. That's the brakes.
That's how you stop it.
Hiring intern, have special job.
Yeah. Have you driven out of El Mirage?
Fuck yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
must like
I've
it out
been
there.
Yeah.
$15, drive as fast as you
Yeah.
want. It's the greatest place. Did 185 in a Panamera Turbo S.
Oh, you did?
Spirit of Porsche. Yeah.
185 out
Yeah.
there.
You had 3.2 miles.
Yeah, there's sections of it that are pretty rough as well. I
yeah,
guess you
you
went
go
on
the
that
other
in the
way.
Panamera.
You go
Yeah,
out,
watch
so you
those.
go through the ticket booth.
Yeah.
You drive to the far end.
Okay.
You turn and come back
Okay.
towards the ticket booth, and you have 3.2 miles. It's like 2.5 with some shutdown.
And you did what speed? 180?
186. And it starts to get a little wavy, and that's when you really got to shut it down. Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
the fastest you've gone out there and it's in a Panamera?
That was the fastest. Yeah, we did like 180 in a CTSV.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to try and go quicker. You could. I mean, you definitely.
What's
you
the
need a
fastest you've gone overall? 200?
210.
What'd you do that in?
I did an Aventador back in the day, and then I did
On an airstrip or something?
no
On the road?
on the road, and then I did
On the
the
10?
Venom GT. I did like 210. That's about.
That was
fastest.
airstrip.
That's pretty insane.
That was on a runway.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty insane.
The Venom GT I did 210 with no roof, which was
That's
fucking
really-
awesome. That's real scary.
That was a good ride.
That's serious.
And I
can
had a
imagine.
helmet on, but I had a hoodie
Okay.
under the, so it was flapping.
Hoodie's
up. It's
flapping
like,
around.
Oh my god, that was
Yeah.
Hoodie
that
in the
car was
wind moment.
shockingly stable at speed though. We had John Hennessy on last week. That car was so fun. I mean, that's
Where are they based out of? Texas?
Texas, Houston.
Is
Yeah.
he a nice guy?
Yes. That car, I've never been so scared in a car.
What was so scary about
It's
it?
1,300 horsepower.
Yeah.
It weighs like 2,700 pounds. I mean, it's it pulls in fifth like a GTR pulls in first.
But it
It's
was
not-
so visceral too, because manual transmission,
Yeah.
V8 noise, open top,
Turbo
like all
noise.
those things
What
combined.
does it rev
you know?
to?
7 and
Okay.
change. I mean, it was 1,300 horsepower twin turbo LSX. It shoots a consistent flame.
You're
like
all about the
this.
flames I'm hearing today.
Cars that
Get
shoot
out the
fire are
flame.
better than cars that don't shoot fire. That's just a
Hellfire.
rule.
Hellfire.
It's fun.
It was just.
How
it
do you
was
see the
so
flame when
fun.
you're driving?
You don't, but the video camera.
Oh, the video. Okay.
You get that guy from the brakes. He used to stand in the back
All
and
right.
tell
There's
you.
always video. I
Just
forget.
that car was so fast it fucked me up for like 6 months.
Everything just seemed like you were going
Everything
backwards.
seemed really slow after that
Right.
for a long time. That hasn't happened. since
Speed's
then.
deceptive, right? You know, like some of these new cars I've been driving, you go, how fast do you think you're going? And it feels like you're doing 70. You go, oh, that's 110.
100. Yeah. The 488 is like that. You can go very, very fast and not really.
How fast you going on the 488?
I don't know. Fast.
Fast? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but there's a big number somewhere. I had that thing for a week. There was a big number somewhere.
It's kind of like the old saying, you know, like new cars are, I think, insulated in the sense, you know, you do 100 in an old Porsche that's short wheelbase car that's rattling around.
Yeah.
Feels like you're doing about 160 in your
Yeah.
488 or whatever it is.
My
you
old
know.
Mustang feels real fast.
Yeah.
It ain't.
It just moves around a lot, right?
A 100 in a Miata feels real quick because you're
Right, like
so
you're doing
low.
200 in a Venom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing a YouTuber project car challenge.
What is that?
It's where me and my friend Rob Ferretti and this guy Rob Dom and
Two Robs.
this dude David Patterson, who's like that dude in blue on YouTube. We're bringing our project cars to Vegas and having a race. If you'd like to join us, if you'd like to
Vegas.
come out and bring 277 to Las Vegas.
Seems like a SEMA type of thing. though.
No, it's just us.
Okay.
There's no other people. It's only us.
You know,
We're-
Vegas or Spring Mountain?
We're
We're in
we were gonna
Vegas.
do Spring Mountain. Now we're doing that Speed Vegas track.
What's Speed Vegas?
It's like an exotic car
Okay.
driving experience, but they've
Okay.
got like a circuit.
They have
sort
a
of
very long
outside of
straightaway.
Vegas. It has a very long straightaway.
Compared to other rental areas, yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one Top Gear's using?
It's the one
Next
well,
to the
it's-
15?
It's the one where someone died last year. It's
Okay.
that one.
All right, that one.
Someone had a bad
So it's near the
crash
15,
there.
right?
It's near
Yep.
the freeway.
Yeah, I've heard about
It's
that
the
one.
one right off the freeway.
Got it, got it, yeah.
I don't.
When you're leaving
don't-
Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Like Nicky Cage with the
Yes.
Sheryl Crow song, right? Leaving
Last
Las Vegas.
chance to
Last
blow all
chance.
your money.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here. So I
Sounds
don't know if
exciting.
you want to come for a race.
Sounds exciting.
We're gonna bring some cars out to be fun.
I will be in Vegas at SEMA, so that's always kind of a fun thing.
Are you doing a thing?
Just a SEMA show.
Just chilling?
No, I'll be there, I think, with Mobile One. I've done that 2-3
Oh,
times.
you
now.
representing?
I don't know if I'm representing. Mobile One has me come out and bring a car there. I stick it in the booth, and it's just another
Oh.
beard convention. This will be the LVBC, the Las Vegas Beard Convention.
Are you, Hannah? Are you a SEMA attendee?
No, I've never gone to SEMA.
Never?
Oh, you
Never.
gotta
It's
go.
a lowbrow
It's-
event.
it
come on.
honestly,
yeah.
Lowbrow.
I've never been to Vegas.
Do you want
Fuck
to
Ever.
walk?
off.
Never.
walk
Never
through
been to
the
Las
internet?
Vegas?
Nope. Sorry.
It is walking through the internet.
Yeah.
It's every automotive thing. It's
Yeah.
There's TV screens on shocks on trucks. Why?
Yeah.
On
Because.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
a bunch of angry dudes because it's mostly dudes that are commenting like, I know how to build a better F1 car than this thing. It's hilarious.
It's great.
It sounds
I'm
like
much
it.
more interested in how a woman such as yourself has managed to avoid Las Vegas.
It's a thing.
As an
I
automotive
guess.
journalist?
Never
That's
been.
crazy.
Yep.
You have
It's
to
a thing.
go.
I'm not sure it's my scene.
This is the first time for everything, right?
Yeah, you have to. It's nobody's, first off. If it's your scene, you got a real, if Vegas is your scene, you got a real problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Vegas
it's my
is
scene.
nobody's scene.
What can it offer me
What can it offer you?
Yeah.
What do you like?
that I don't have?
What are you into that you don't have? Well, that's a loaded question. I don't know what you have, but do you like?
I have
don't know.
everything.
Do you have everything?
I mean, if you want to shoot a machine gun out of a backhoe,
I can do
Vegas
that in
has
I've done that in California,
All right.
in Palm Springs.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay, there you go.
You make a good point. What does Vegas have? It has really good food.
So does
both
New York.
on and off the strip.
Yeah,
So does New York.
please. So does New York. Look,
Like I will go toe to toe with you right now.
I understand the so does New York game is a real New York thing to do. I grew up there,
can-
so I know the so.
I can bring it.
I can whittle that bitch right down. I live in Venice, right over here, and I
like
can
Venice.
so does Venice. If you want to go play that,
I like
because
Venice.
I don't like
Venice is so
leaving
nice.
my little circle.
Of course.
Yeah.
Venice
So
is
we can,
beautiful.
but Las Vegas.
New York has great driving roads, especially in
Oh,
the city.
yeah. Okay, that's
New York.
fair.
That's right.
That's actually fair.
You can get up to 8,000
That's-
feet in New York, right?
That's a very
You get 800
fair point.
RPMs.
Yeah.
New York. That's why I love coming to LA. Love
New York
it
has good
because
driving roads if you go north.
It does.
Go up
I mean,
off 684.
past
and
Bear
84.
Mountain,
Yeah.
out in Dutchess County.
Yeah.
But you really have to work for it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. In terms of driving, I'm sure Vegas is amazing. I
No,
love.
it's Vegas is not.
okay.
You know what's fun? I don't even know why I'm defending Vegas because I fucking hate Las Vegas for the most part.
I'm not
But I
hating
think
on
you
it. I'm
should-
just
I
saying
think
I've
you
never
should
been.
go.
It's a-
'Cause I don't
it's a
have
thing to go to
if
once,
you-
it's ridiculous.
If somebody gave me a compelling reason to go, I would go. I just.
Oh,
have-
I don't think you
Cirque
should.
du Soleil,
You should.
Tom Jones would be a compelling.
You don't want to go
I
on
love a Tom
vacation there.
Jones.
The shows
No.
are awesome. Vinny Favorito
Yeah,
with
well.
the flamingo, the
Yeah.
best.
That's.
Tom Jones, I think.
I mean, if you want to see pirates fight next door to the Eiffel Tower,
Exactly.
pretty good.
I
It's
will
pretty
say,
fun.
You can't do that in New York.
Can't
right?
do that anywhere.
If there's a band you like or something,
Mm-hmm.
they all the best bands, whatever.
Britney
They
Spears.
stop in Vegas at a certain point, so it's a good
Sure.
excuse to go see a show or
Elton
something.
Sure.
John.
Wayne
And they have
Newton
great
on life
Wayne
support there,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
on
Wayne.
stage
Great.
somehow.
So does New York.
So does Tokyo.
So does Tokyo.
What?
Yeah. Well,
Have what?
I said they have great Asian food in Vegas, off the strip.
Yeah, I would say
That
New York,
that
too.
worries me a little bit.
What?
I don't know if
Asian
I
food
want to
off the
eat
strip?
fish inland. I'd rather eat it close to the source. Close to the
Yeah, I didn't
source.
mean. I meant more like noodles, like Vietnamese
Oh,
and
okay.
Thai.
So we're not talking sushi.
I did not mean sushi, although you can
Okay.
get good sushi in Vegas, but that's not.
Vegas
All right,
has
so we
changed,
haven't
right?
sold you on Vegas.
SEMA
no,
is just
but
hilarious.
keep trying. I'm open to it,
I mean,
but you gotta really.
you should go to
you have
SEMA. You should. That's the
SEMA's a
thing.
good show.
If you've never been, you'll
It's
find
everything
something
from
to write
lug nuts
about.
to Ford Motor Company is how I
Yeah,
describe SEMA.
you'll find something
Mm-hmm.
to write about at
Yeah.
SEMA. What would you write about at SEMA for Bloomberg?
Oh,
What does Bloomberg's audience care about?
how
at
to
the SEMA
short
show?
the market on the supercharger industry.
Sorting the coilover market.
Pitch me on a story idea, because
Bloomberg. What does Bloomberg? What do their readers really care about at Bloomberg?
Aftermarket products, right? Come on.
Do they? No.
I don't know.
No,
Do you
I
think I
think,
read
you know-
Bloomberg? Come on.
Do they care about? I don't know. They a lot of companies show concept cars. You could go see a concept car from an OEM.
Where a lot of custom work is displayed
yeah,
there, like
you know,
really high
something
level
that shows
stuff.
individuality.
You
could
something-
do- a lot of that.
Yeah,
something that
made in
shows you know
America.
what you're-
Yeah.
Sorry?
Made in
You
America.
could do a story on
Handmade.
things that are being made in
Oh, yeah,
America.
for sure. That's
American
very Bloomberg.
innovation.
America.
right? American carbon fiber industry, stuff like that. That could be a thing, right?
High-end
Or
carbon fiber
how the
wheels.
Chinese are taking over the tire game. They are. The Chinese tire section of SEMA is fucking crazy.
It is big. That whole
That's
hole.
that's a whole other
Yeah.
weird thing. Every year, people's booths at SEMA get raided because they're ripping off someone who's got a booth like right over there.
That's true. There's like legit copyright infringement that happens. Like,
happens.
no,
right
joke.
about
Booths get
that.
shut
Yeah.
down because
Copyright
someone will walk into those other areas and be like, "That's my intake manifold," and it's like, "Oh, that's their fucking," and then they get shut down.
Yeah, that
For
happens
real.
a couple times a year.
Okay. Intrigue. Good.
The
intrigue.
parties are
Espionage.
The parties at
Intrigue.
least have the
SEMA.
potential to be fun. Sometimes they're fun.
It's just such a spectacle.
It's
So
and it's a spectacle. Yeah.
You
It
got to
sounds
go to
like
Vegas.
it.
48 hours, 72 max.
Yeah.
You can go to like the most
exactly.
expensive club where down there people are spending $5,000 on bottle service, but up here there's a bunch of guys in bowling shirts that say peak performance or whatever it is,
sounds
and it's just that's a funny
That
juxtaposition.
sounds terrifying.
It's awesome. Vegas, baby. Vegas, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome there.
It is good once though. You really should go to SEMA once. I went to CES this year for the first
Okay.
the
Is
consumer.
that
How
the
was that?
Consumer Electronics?
Even more
That's bigger than SEMA,
male than
Yeah.
SEMA, and even nerdier. And we learned that not everything needs to be smart. I don't need fucking smart socks. I
Yeah,
can
how do they
figure-
work? How do
I don't
smart
know, but they exist. They
They're there.
Bluetooth
Smart
to your
socks.
phone. Whatever. Everything
Time to
is
wash 'em.
everything is
Yeah.
smart. And
I just know
Monitor
when
your-
they're crunchy, that's generally time to wash them, right?
Monitor your body's heat signature to tell you when
Yeah.
you're too hot.
I just
So
go like
stupid.
this. That
So are
generally
you gonna
tells
go
when I'm
back
too
to
hot.
CES? Like, was it worth it?
I don't know if
for
I'll
you?
go back to CES. No, I didn't think it was worth it. I went out of curiosity and because my girlfriend's in the industry, so she goes every year. But
What does your girlfriend do? Let's talk about
Mattel.
that.
She works at Mattel.
Oh, she does? What does she do there?
She's in charge of consumer global insights.
What
It's
does that
basically
mean?
like
Consumer
market
global?
research, but people, not data. So
Okay.
focus groups and stuff like that. And she has worked on these products.
Well, Hot Wheels
On your-
celebrating its
I'm
50th
so
anniversary.
fucking jealous. Can we get my Mustang in a Hot Wheels? Can we do
I'm
that?
sure you can.
Can you make it like one of your off-branded?
How's that not happened already? The Matt
I don't
Farah.
know.
You mean the black one, right?
I don't know if I love you, but if my car had your name on it, I'd have to kill myself.
It'd be the Matt Farah car. Why would my name be on your
Oh,
car?
Right.
can I get my name on it? That would be good.
Of course you can,
Yes,
yeah. The Matt
that's
Farah
me.
edition.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's make that happen. All you guys out there at Mattel Hot Wheels, give Matt a call. SmokingTide.com.
Hook it up.
Hook it up.
Hannah.
Let's make it happen.
I have
Smoking
the, I
Tide.
have
You
the
have
most
the in
inside
already.
job
You have the
possible.
in already.
I don't. We don't need it publicly. I can just be like, baby.
Yeah.
Please.
What's going on there?
Then she'd laugh.
You gotta
and
ask
go, "Shut
nicely."
up. Go back to bed.
Well, on that note,
So, the book is
Okay.
on Amazon.
Amazon.com, Dirt Don't Slow You Down. It's got photos.
Where can we read your columns at Bloomberg? Is there a subsection of Bloomberg?
Google Hannah Elliot.
Hannah Elliot
Pursuits. The
Pursuits?
Yes, pursuits means luxury. So
Yeah,
Bloomberg
you have the
Pursuits.
luxury column.
It's all about
Yeah.
Oh,
luxury.
what a
Yeah.
racket you have, my friend. Do you do
Yeah.
jets and shit too?
no, I really don't. I'm not interested in jets or boats. It's
Just cars?
cars mostly.
Need
and
for Speed?
culture.
Do
yeah.
they need someone to write about jets or boats?
Is that you?
Yeah, let's
can
take this
get on-
convo
You got some
offline.
experience?
You know what? I having done cars for so long, I can get on this jet game.
Jet game.
No problem.
Yeah, I
Get
get
out
pitched
and
on
fly.
a lot of jets.
Really?
Yeah.
What does a
They're-
pitch look like for a jet?
Let me take you on my private jet.
Oh,
and
that's,
like,
that's. I don't
well,
think
no,
that's
I,
a
Mile
it's
high.
Not how
Mile
it's
high
done. No, like
proposition.
I'm starting this jet club. Why don't I, come try it out and see what the club's like,
Really?
type of thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Mile high.
For like a jet time sharing
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs one, right? Timeshare jet.
I mean, look, if you got it, it's
You could take that down
delightful.
on the festival this weekend, right?
You've been on PJ at least once, right?
No.
Never.
Never done it.
Somebody hooked Magnus up.
Never done it.
You seem like the kind of person who would have the right friends who could hook that up.
No, I mean, never done it.
Maybe the second book.
Second book, yeah. The sequel. Working on the sequel. Friends in High Places.
I've been fortunate enough a couple times, and it's hard to go back.
It's
Gotta
kind of
be
like when
honest
someone
with
flies your business class and you got all that leg room on a long flight.
you. It's that
Like to Australia.
It's that times a fucking
Yeah, I can
1,000,
imagine.
my friend. It is that on some other level. Yeah,
Sounds exciting.
and that's how we finish on a relatable level.
Exactly. Everyone relates to that, right?
Yeah.
You
Like
really
the
must fly private.
Matt Farris said.
You must.
That's how I got
must.
here today to the office.
And if
Exactly.
not, I mean,
Flying.
you must be the private jet columnist at Bloomberg.
Ugh.
That's what I'm fucking talking
That is
about.
so not me. That is
No?
no.
No. Who is
So,
the private jet columnist?
You know what? There's no one. I think we have an opening. If
Fuck
you're
off.
interested,
There you
we
go.
do,
Put-
yes.
put
we
your
do
name
have
down.
an opening. Talk to me. Talk to me
I
after
make
the show.
review.
Make you excellent deal, my friend.
Great. Great.
No, that's awesome. Next
Yeah.
time you're in town, come back and hang out with us.
Thank you. I'd love to.
Social media,
Thank you.
do you want to plug it?
Yeah,
Plug it.
sure. Hannah Elliot XO on Instagram and Hannah Elliot on Twitter. 2 L's, 2 T's, 2
L's,
N's,
2
2
T's.
H's. 2 of
Wait.
everything.
2 N's, 2 H's.
Yes.
2
L's,
2 T's.
2 of
All right.
everything.
That's got to be fun on the phone. Do you have to
Twice
do
as
that?
good.
Is that your go-to every
Sometimes-
time?
Sometimes. Yeah, 2
on the
of
reception.
everything.
I do F as in Frank.
Yeah, that's good.
That's my
That's
go-to.
good too.
There's a lot of Army calls.
Awesome. Good show, gents.
Great show.
I'm going to Gridlife.
Love the new technology. Gridlife sounds
yeah,
awesome.
Your inspiration has gotten us
That worked out great.
a staff member and a,
Yeah.
and a rig.
You guys
and
are very
pretty
efficient.
soon we'll be able to make them work properly.
That and a
Sorry,
cup of
Tim.
coffee will be
Got it
awesome,
today.
but
We
I'll
just
come
need to
back
get-
anytime.
Re-up that.
Yeah, that's the next
so-
thing.
Coffee
Yeah.
maker.
Working coffee.
Working coffee on the smoking tire.
Oh, thanks for coming in, Magnus.
Hey, my
It's always
pleasure.
good to see you, sir.
Thanks for the
I
invite.
appreciate it.
Likewise.
And Hannah, you have an open invite.
Thank
next
you.
time
You're
you're
so
in town.
kind.
Go to
It's really
Vegas.
fun.
Go to SEMA. You'll enjoy yourself.
I'll take
Thanks,
your word
guys.
on that. Thank you.
Thanks, kids. Go to
been emotional.
ATL to hang with Ludacris.
Ludicrous.
The Smoke-
ATL, yo.
Until then, the Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. You just need good guests, good coffee. We don't have that yet.
1 out of 2 ain't
Something
bad.
to say, an internet connection, and then go to Shout Engine and get yourself a podcast. See you guys next week.
Get
Goodbye.
out and talk podcast.